Oh, and okay,
Can you hear me, Professor?
so let's carry on with what we were doing. And I'm gonna go down here to check it out. VM student official site.
Good, good evening, sir.
Let's create a VMware lab in our laptop, blah, blah, blah. Once everything is properly configured, then we will deploy the other 3 VMs. Yeah. So we were trying to go for Active Directory and DNS and DHCP. We were able to install the Active Directory, and then we were able to rename the domain admin account. Can you hear us, Professor? Oh, looks like you can't hear us. Oops. No, actually. So let me check my mic speaker settings, actually. Sorry about that.
He's not hearing you. Just listen to him. Then we will ask him later on, please.
My audio system was messed up. So now I can hear you. Yeah. Anyone who wants to say anything, please go ahead.
Actually, I wanted to check because if you want to ask a question, for example, it would be difficult if you are not getting us.
Yeah.
But thanks. Now it's okay.
Oh, cool. Okay. So yeah, if there's a question, otherwise let's go ahead. Okay. So yeah, so what we were doing was we installed Active Directory and we talked about a lot of stuff here. And hopefully on your own, you're also practicing. You've created a simultaneous environment just for your job that you're going when you repeat the whole lab again and again. So obviously for the job interviews, you will be very proficient in that, right? Even now with I do my other courses as well, cloud courses. So those students are saying that some students are working in a company and they have cloud environment and they have VMware environment. So both go hand in hand, and you will be facing both in most cases, and in few cases, just on-premises VMware, and few cases only cloud. Very, very few cases only cloud and no VMware. Majority of the companies have both, or VMware they have it if they have on-premises presence. Anyway, so we talked about that before as well. This is our class password. Now, yeah, so what we did was we installed the virtual machine. Let me just start creating a diagram here. And I'm sure I clicked this. Okay, MS Paint. So here, what we did was we created a virtual machine, and this virtual machine was Windows Server. We made that Windows Server our domain controller. So what is a domain controller? A domain controller is a Windows Server with Active Directory installed. Remember that always, right? Domain controller. Now, obviously, it's on-premises talk, and yes, world has moved around. Oh, please mute others' mic. Ooh, anyone else's mic is open? Actually, everyone's mic is muted. Is it a echo, guys? Hello, hello, hello. Is there.
Now it's up.
It's just the echo you are making, nothing else.
Oh, okay. So you get that. I'm okay. No, I thought you will not get me. So okay.
You were actually
okay.
good, yeah.
Oh, it was good, right? See?
Yes.
Okay. Cool. So as I was saying. Okay, yeah, let's get back to it. Yeah. So a Windows Server with Active Directory installed is domain controller, but this is on-premises talk. Okay. So Arifor says now. Okay, thank you. Let's go ahead. Now we have created a domain controller, right? And it's an on-premises server. It is not, in the cloud course, you would be hearing Azure Active Directory. So that is in the cloud. Azure is cloud, right? So this is on-premises. So domain controller on-premises, but domain controller can be in the cloud as well. But Azure is not. Well, I'm just clarifying. Okay, but this is not cloud course. This is a VMware course. Okay, so let's go ahead. And then we installed, actually, we added the role called DNS, and that's one of the most important roles because that's going to do the name resolution. In simple words, we will access other
Okay.
resources. Yep.
No.
Oh, okay. So,
Yes.
was there any question? No, right? Okay. So we will be accessing other resources, other virtual machines, other storage devices by name. If we want to not access them by IP only and not able, we don't have to remember the IP of maybe these are just 3 machines, right, that we're about to create. But there will be in companies, there could be 3,000 machines, right? So we can't just remember all machines by name, by IP, right? Unless you're very good with
Right.
numbers. So we have to access by name. Hmm?
Mm. 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 Mm.
Wow, I'm hearing sounds. Are you hearing sounds as well?
It's sorry for Rama.
Okay, so
It is okay, sir?
yeah, yeah, it's okay now. But I was hearing and then. So yeah, I thought you were
Sorry.
eating biryani or something or samosa. Yeah, my favorite. Okay, so
Sorry.
that's good. No
Sorry
problem.
to interrupt you, Professor. I have a question. Can you hear me?
Sure, sure.
Uh,
Yeah.
when you do something, there is in Chrome there is an option to cast to your screen. I cannot. I tried everything, but I couldn't find anything something like that similar to screencast in this Cisco meeting.
So what's the exact issue you're having? You cannot see the
No,
screen?
no, no. It's not an issue. I mean, what I do is just I always cast my screen into my TV, but
Oh, okay.
unfortunately, I'm not able to see any option like that in this Cisco meeting.
Ah, well,
Yes.
you can just cast your laptop overall screen. Like there's a built-in Windows option in the laptop as well to just, connect to a TV. But that's very strange that Cisco. Cisco actually has some lesser features. I don't know why it chose it, but it's been stable and it's pretty good till now. Well, you can just Google it. It's just a few Google steps away and how to do it. Um, okay. Yeah, let's continue, guys, as well, because we just have very few million topics left. So, okay. Now, as we were talking about DNS, so yeah, we need to access all the resources by name. Okay. So we need DNS. We're going to properly configure that too. Other than that, we will need DHCP because we're going to be creating few virtual machines inside these virtual machines because we're pretending this whole environment we're pretending as the actual physical environment in a production where these virtual machines are supposed to be, the hypervisors, ESXi hypervisor we're going to be installing here. So in production environment, we actually install these on a physical server directly. And the only purpose of a hypervisor is to host virtual machines. So once we install that, so on top of that, obviously I have to show you that how to deploy a virtual machine on top of a hypervisor and basically how to remotely even connect to the hypervisor and then how the hypervisor really works inside. What are the major components of a hypervisor? Because it's kind of a foot soldier of that software that we are about to understand in this course, which is the vCenter. This whole course revolves around this huge enterprise grade application called vCenter. So vCenter controls what? Basically it has to connect to some kind of hypervisor to control the virtual machines and the applications deployed inside the virtual machines, right? So we will first understand hypervisor, but we should know that in production environments in companies, hypervisors normally are installed in on a bare metal physical server, like a Bell server. Did I say Bell? No, Dell server or IBM server, right? Or HP servers, physical servers. it directly gets installed there. So, well, we talked about that before as well. Now, what we have reached here, what we have done till now is we have installed this virtual machine. We have installed a domain controller. We have to now see that. So I'm just going to start the virtual machine. So domain controller has been installed. And then I had put some objectives there, and I've been turning them into green lines. So whatever is done is green. So once we installed Active Directory, which is offering us AAA, which is authentication, authorization, and auditing or accounting, right? So, and then we created a domain. So you created your first name domain there. Those who were not able to follow me in last class would have done it during the, well, actually you got 2 weeks. So we would have done the whole lab and uploaded the screenshots on Blackboard. So once installed and restarted, then log in and create a new fully privileged user account. So guys, those who are following me now, and it's not really compulsory to follow me during the class. If you're gonna be, kind of slowing down, try to understand, ask questions, and then do the lab when the video is there. If you're not doing the work, quote unquote, fastly, right? Okay, anyway, so here, guys, I'm gonna log in from Humb admin throughout the course onwards till the end of this course. I'm gonna log in from this account, not the administrator account. That would be our backup account, right? If something happens to this or we mess it up, so we can still log in from the domain administrator account. Okay, so I'm going to start the virtual machine. I'm just going to confirm this configuration, and then we're going to go ahead. So where is my virtual machine? So this is the VMware workstation, and okay, so there's a question from privately asked. I don't want to things, but simply doesn't work on my computer. Please help me whenever. So, Farhan, you can share the screenshot on WhatsApp. What's the issue with your laptop, right?
Okay,
And
okay.
VMware, because
I thought I didn't
as soon
want
as you
to
share the
share something.
screenshot, yeah, no, you can share the screenshot in the WhatsApp, but in the in the break, I can let you know then. But you can share the screenshot earlier if you want, right?
Will do, sir. Thank you.
And whenever throughout the week you have this issue, just share it in the WhatsApp group. We will all jump on it and we will try to help you throughout the week as well. Right?
Okay, sir.
But yeah, as soon as you put that up during the break, I can check it. Or hey, that break will be for me as well. No, anyway, I'll try to help at that time. Okay,
Thank you, sir.
cool. Okay, guys. So as I was saying, I'm going to go back to this your first name Win01 Humb. So I'm just going to resume that because I suspended it. When I resume it, so features supported by blah blah blah. Features were saved. Error required. Your machine did not resume because of a correctable error. Preserve the suspended state and correct the error, or discard the suspended state. Okay. If I preserve it, it's gonna go down. Fail to start the virtual machine. If I start it, do I want to do that? But I did do save it, save a snapshot of it, right? I did save that, so I'm just gonna discard that, and it's not working even then. What is going on? Okay, I'll just quickly t-shoot that. Hopefully I'm able to, and it's not something big. Okay, what happened here? I'm just going inside the folder where it is living and all its files are, and I just copy the whole path. I'm going to go to run, and actually that path is still pasted there, but I'm just going to paste that again and press O and K, and then there is this is where this virtual machine files are, and there's a log file here that that means that VMware is thinking that this machine is being used right now. So I'm just going to delete that log file, which is ending with .lck. But you only do that when, the machine is not starting, and only the log file, no other file, right? Or you can ask me. And does it start? Oh, yes, sir, it starts. Okay, guys, so it started ing. So not ed, it's ing, which is good. So while it is starting, so I can just talk some more about this. What we need to confirm after the machine starts is this, that is there Active Directory installed? Second thing is our domain name, well, your domain name would be starting with your first name, hump.local. And are we logging in from this account? So we're going to confirm this. After that, we're going to start the next steps. We're going to properly configure DNS. We're going to properly configure DHCP, because throughout the course, these will play a very important role, especially this DNS will play a very, very, very important role. All right. So I will check it out if the machine is starting. Yep, it is starting.
Hello, sir.
Yeah.
Is the class being recorded?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it is recording. Thank you for confirming that.
Okay, sir.
Sir?
Yep.
Question. I'm noticing, I'm getting this message that enabling side channel mitigation may cause performance degradation. But when I try to disable it, I'm noticing it says advanced is default. So should I change it to something else, normal or something?
Well, by default, settings are okay, because sometimes we think that options will be better, but then it goes worse. But the thing is, you can try it after the class throughout the week if you're doing the lab now. If you're not doing the lab, but default, I keep it on default even if it says it's degrading performance, because sometimes it goes worse, but I'm not sure about the other options.
Professor, I
now.
think there is one more student who's waiting for you to let her in.
Yeah, I just let her in.
Already in. Thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you, sir.
Well, okay, let's carry on. Yeah. So please everyone mute. So I'll just mute you guys, or
Sorry,
yeah.
sir, can we
Mhm.
start it from starting, because I was not in, so I can go with you as well.
Yeah, I can start with day one, what we discussed, right?
Yeah.
The introduction to the course, right? So
No,
I'm just kidding. Yeah. So
just
yeah,
right now. So we just need to
no, I
start the
understand.
machine.
Yeah. Yeah. So what I discussed was just this, that we created one machine
I was
and
here. I
oh,
was
okay.
here when you discussed that, but when you start the machine and everything, so that time I was not here. Just
Oh,
3-4
then
minutes.
you did not miss
Okay.
anything important.
Okay,
Yeah,
thank you.
you're already updated. So the machine was not starting, so I just deleted the log files, which is recorded as well. You can also see that in the video. But that troubleshooting might come to some students throughout the course. So yeah, I started the machine and it started, that's all. Okay, I'm just gonna press the 3 buttons here and then I'm gonna log in. So first thing to confirm is that we're not logging in from administrator account. Although if you technically are logging in from administrator account, it's okay. It's just that, throughout the course, I don't want to use that. I want to keep it as a backup. If we mess up this account, which has the same privileges as that domain administrator, then we can go to the administrator as well, right? So that's why technically we're just logging in from this, but if you log in from administrator, it's pretty much the same thing. Okay, so I'm just gonna small shift from the 3. So the class password, and once we log in, so I need to confirm the rest of the things. Do we have an Active Directory? And is our domain name this? We already confirmed that yes, we're logged in from this account. So the other 2 things, then we go ahead with the rest of the infrastructure roles, and then we're going to go for actually a deployment of, in fact, I'll just write that here. Let's create 3 new virtual machines and configure them. Okay, so then I'll put the steps there as well later. Let me just alt tab switch to this. Yep, so the Windows Server has loaded. The second thing, yes, I see ADDS here, Active Directory Domain Services, right? And I do see DHCP and DNS roles installed. Are they properly configured? We're going to properly see that. If I go to the right top tools here, this one, so there's Active Directory users and computers. And then this yes, we can confirm, yes, we have a domain here, your first name hum.local. If I expand that, then there are those folders or containers. And then if I go to users, so I do see that there's an administrator account and its copy was created as hum admin. So we're good. Domain is there. The roles are there. And hum admin, we're already logged into it. So it's already confirmed. Okay. Sinchana. Okay. Let it in. Okay. So normally whoever comes late to the class is supposed to bring ice cream or, some apple juice to the teacher, not the students. But since it's online, so yeah, I'm deprived of those gifts. Okay, let's carry on. And here, this is done. Now our next objective is that we need to configure DNS and DHCP, right? So once we go to, let's go to DNS because this is muy importante, right? So that's wrong Mexican or Italian. I don't even know that, but it's muy importante. So it's very, very important, right? So DNS. And I'm going to go inside and check it out. So there is that tools. I'm going to click the tools because the DNS role is installed. We need to just configure it for our VMware environment. So I'm just going to open the DNS here. And the DNS console opens. I'll just maximize it and double click that. Now there is a forward lookup zone. There's a reverse lookup zone, right? And then trust points and conditional forwarders. Our concern is, remember that when we installed Active Directory, so I said that when the Active Directory gets installed, it installs the DNS with it, and it configures half of it already. So forward lookup zone, which is, if I alt tab it and go to the screen, forward lookup zone, if I expand that, so there are some subfolders here, and there's a zone created with our domain name. And when I click that, so I see that there are some more entries here, but my machine name and the correct IP of this machine name is here. So this means that Active Directory not only installed DNS role, but it also configured the forward lookup zone section of this role. Now, forward lookup zone does what? It resolves computer names to IP addresses. Reverse lookup zone does what? It resolves IP addresses to computer names. So if you have an IP address, and if this was configured, first of all, you can see the reverse lookup zone is not configured, right? So if it was configured, yeah.
Sir, if you don't mind,
Sure.
this DNS and Active Directory, it is already configured or you are going to configure?
No, like what I was saying was, it is half configured. Forward lookup zone is
So-
already configured, but we
Okay,
need
sir.
to configure the
Yeah,
reverse
yeah,
lookup
yeah.
zone.
Please show the step by step, sir. Please, please show us. Thank you, sir.
No, but I haven't started. I'm just
Yeah, yeah.
explaining everything now.
Oh, okay, sir.
But,
Okay, sir.
obviously, I will be showing everything step by step. Okay. So yeah, but first I have to explain the whole environment, then I will show step by step. Okay, so
Okay, sir.
the first thing is, yeah, that forward lookup zone is configured already, right? And that is, it has values. Then there is reverse lookup zone, which is not configured. But then what does forward lookup zone really do? And what does reverse lookup zone really do? So forward lookup zone resolves computer names to IP address. So suppose you have a full computer name, like armor01 dot hum domain dot local, but you don't know the IP. So the request goes to that, and then the IP can be given as well, or if you're remotely connecting to that. So if you have a computer name, but you don't know the IP, so the request goes to forward lookup zone. That's the main thing to understand. If you just have the IP, but you don't know the name of the machine, if the DNS is properly configured, so then it is. The request goes to the reverse lookup zone if it is configured. Right now, it's not. Okay, that said, I'm going to go to your
Sorry,
first name. Yeah,
sorry,
you were
sorry
saying?
to interrupt you.
No problem.
I'm not able to log into my machine. I just use the other user, and my other user is like my first three digits of like first three letters of my name, Nav Humb, and I just use the class password in the last class, but now it's not letting me sign in.
Like you're using your first name Humb?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, either you can share the screenshot on WhatsApp group or switch to the screen if you can do it quickly.
No, I can't because I'm
Oh,
trying on another laptop. So I'll just send
then
the screenshot.
yeah, you can take a picture from the cell phone and just upload it to WhatsApp group. So it's pretty
Yeah.
fast and easy. Cool.
Sir,
Yep,
sorry to interrupt, sir.
no
You
problem.
shared three slides, three PowerPoint slides. So,
Yeah.
which slides we are discussing today?
So this
Module 4?
is going to be still uploaded. The one that we are discussing today
Okay.
will be uploaded at the end of it because I'm making a lot of changes here.
Okay, okay. Because I printed everything, every slides, so I
Wow,
cannot.
nice, man. Very
So I
good, very
cannot
good.
see anything like that. Okay, okay, sir. Go ahead,
Yeah,
sir, please.
Okay, sir,
cool.
I sent the screenshots in the WhatsApp group if we
Yeah.
can check.
Hey, everyone seeing it sideways because I have to now tilt sideways to see that. Uh, Other user. Oh man, my neck. Okay. So, what happened here? So it's other user. So no, no. Who is this? Oh my God. So Nav, is it Navdeep?
Yep.
Hmm. Yeah, Navdeep. You have to click the above hum admin. You have to click that, and instead of the other user, hum admin should be showing there, and then you can put the password. So if other user is showing, you're not going to put the password. Just click on hum admin, and it will
Okay.
show in place of other user. It will show there in place of other user, right? And
Yeah.
then yeah, now just put the password and it should be good.
Okay, but you said we should log into other user, right? That's why I'm trying that.
No, 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 no. So it was the opposite of that. We are
Okay.
supposed to always only log in from hum admin.
Okay. I got it now. Thank you. I'm all
Welcome.
good.
All right, cool. Okay, so I was just putting my key beside it. And all right, so here, where? Here. Okay. So I was talking about that forward lookup zone is already configured, and this is a zone name, your first name, hum, dot local, which is already configured, right? We don't need to do anything here. And you also see that the machine name of the machine and the IP of the machine, which machine? This machine is showing here as well, right? So the IP of the machine, if you just, we gave that IP in the last class. If I just go right click here, open network settings, and Monday or Sunday, it's going to show network and sharing center and the IP that we gave last week, right? So details, yes, we gave the IP 200.10. And if I just go to the IP address itself, IPv4, this is all in the last video. So 210, 255, and 127. So I'm going to come back here, but just now I'm just showing there that it's the correct entry in the DNS for this particular server, right? Now, what we're going to do is that we're going to go to reverse lookup zone. And reverse lookup zone, it's as I give you the purpose of this, that if you have an IP, it's going to tell you the name. It's also a good practice to install reverse lookup zone for some major big applications like Exchange Server, which is an email application. But technically, if forward lookup zone is configured properly, technically I'm saying it also is okay. In some companies, you will see that forward lookup zone is only configured, and reverse lookup zone is configured when they really need. Maybe they install an application, and the manual of that application says, documentation says, oh, please install a reverse lookup zone as well for this particular application, right? Otherwise, administrators just keep only this. We're going to go for best practices, which is going to go for reverse lookup zone configuration as well now. So I'm going to go step by step now. So how to configure reverse lookup zone. And before that, there's a command that I want to introduce. Then I'm going to come down to this reverse lookup zone configuration, right? What is that command and what does it do? And why are we talking about that command? So I'm going to explain all that. I want to go to command prompt. How do I go to command prompt? Right click on the Windows, and then either we can go to PowerShell admin or we can go to search and just type CMD, and either enter or just click on this command prompt. And what are we doing here? So we're going to put a command called nslookup. 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 What is that? NS means name server or DNS server. Lookup means search for it. Look for it. So look for a DNS server or a name resolution server, right? So what we are overall doing, or what this command is overall telling us, that which machine is our DNS server. So this nslookup command, when we press enter, should give us the fully qualified domain name of this DNS server, because this machine is our DNS server, right? So what is a fully qualified domain name? FQDN. Some of you might have heard it before, but if I go to forward lookup zone and double click the record, a record of this machine, if I double click that, so it gives me the fully qualified domain name, FQDN, which is this. Machine name is this, and the domain name is this. So fully qualified domain name means the full name of the machine and domain name. So machine name is this, and the domain name is this. So FQDN tells us, oh, this is a machine that is having DNS services. So nslookup tells us, if suppose there were 10,000 Windows 10 machines or Windows 11 machines, and they were all properly connected to the domain, and if you open a command prompt on machine number 99, suppose, and you run nslookup command, so it will also give you the correct DNS name. Anyway, so just to configure properly the DNS, I'm just gonna click this nslookup, and it says default server name is localhost, address is IP, this IP, right? So instead of default server saying localhost, it should be saying the fully qualified domain name, which is the name of the machine and the name of the domain. So it's not saying that, so we're going to fix it now, right? Okay, Jules, quick. Okay, so we're gonna fix it now. Other thing is, the IP address is also not exactly of this machine. This machine's IP is 192.168.200.10. That's the IP of this machine. Well, there they go, right? This is the IP of the machine, but it is not giving that IP as well. So we're going to correct these two things. And yeah, then we can say that, oh, DNS is working fine. Okay, so in order to come out of the interactive zone of this nslookup, I'm going to press Control C on the keyboard. Control C or Control Z both works. They just take you out into the prompt, right? So we're gonna run nslookup again when we have done some changes here in DNS and IP. First, let's just fix the IP. It should just give us the proper IP, 192.168.200.10, which is the machine IP, right? Instead of loopback address 127.0.0.1. So how do you fix that? I'm going to minimize this. I'm not going to close it. I'm just gonna minimize this, right? So minimize. And I need to fix the IP. Where do I go? I go to the network settings where I put the IP. How do I go there? So I can go to the suitcase icon, which is the server manager, and then go to local server. So there's that. We can go from here as well, the static IP area. So Ethernet 0, 192.168.200.10, Ethernet 0. We've gone through this before as well. Properties, and then version 4, double click that, right? So I'm sure, and we are all sure, that we gave here this same IP in previous class, but why did it change to 127.0.0.1? So the reason for that is that when we installed the Active Directory, so we gave the IP here 210, and we also gave here the same IP 192.168.210 here. So when it was restarting, this machine realized that, oh, I have the DNS server. I am the DNS server. So during restart, it gave the IP that points to itself. This IP is called loopback address, which means it is pointing to itself, which is kind of okay, but the best practice is just put the correct IP here back. So we're going to put the IP back here, which is just a one-time thing. It doesn't change after that ever. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove this IP. I'm going to put the same IP of this machine as above. So I'm going to remove, and 192.168.200.10. We don't need the gateway here. But in production environments, normally you have a IP of a router as a gateway, or whichever device lets your data go out to the internet and enter from internet to your network. Anyway, so we put the IP back, the correct one, which is the above one, and press O and K, and press O and K again, and press close, and close. Right? Okay, so I'm going to go down here to the command prompt, which I minimized, and then I will run this NS lookup again. What I'm expecting is that at least this IP should be correct now, right? So how to get the old command? On the keyboard, just press the up arrow, right? Press enter. So at least the IP should be correct, right? Okay, so the IP is correct, but the default server, it still doesn't figure out what is the default server. So for that, we need to configure reverse lookup zone because we know the IP, we do not know the name now. Because reverse lookup zone is not configured, it's not telling you the name. So when we configure the reverse lookup zone, then it's going to say, oh, for this IP, this is the name of the machine. So that's going to do that. Okay, I'm going to go out of this interactive mode of NS lookup by pressing Control C or Control Z, any one of those. Okay, I'm out. I'm going to minimize it again because I need to fix the name as well now, right? I'm going to minimize this again. What do I do now to fix the name? So I'm going to go to this icon. What is this icon for? DNS. If you have closed it for some reason, then tools, and this is also DNS. But if you already have that, then don't go there and open it again. So DNS, I'm just going to go back here. And we know that forward lookup zone is configured already, but we will configure now reverse lookup zone. Okay, how do we configure? It's pretty easy. Right click on top of the reverse lookup zone, go to new zone, right? Once you click the new zone, then you go to next. So there's a primary zone, secondary zone, stub zone, storage zone, the Active Directory. Primary zone is read and write copy of the DNS. Secondary zone is the read-only copy of the DNS. Stub zone is just used in small branches. It doesn't have its own database. And store the zone in Active Directory means that Active Directory security will be implemented on this whole DNS database. Anyway, we're going to stick to the default primary zone and click next. Then there is two DNS servers running on domain controllers in this domain. So this is just saying that if you have another DNS server, which we don't have, but if you had, tell that DNS server that we are doing all this, synchronize to that DNS server. So it doesn't apply to us. So default is okay. Next. Yes, we're using IPv4, not IPv6. Next. It is asking, hey, what is the network ID you're using? So those who are connected to Cisco and have done IP addressing would understand that. Hey guys, are you doing Cisco course in this whole program? Are you or are you not?
Yes, we are doing.
Oh, okay, you're doing good. Cisco course, that's very good. Okay, hopefully you get the Cisco certification by the end of this course. Just really important. Or understand the concepts very, very good. Okay, so we're going to give the network ID here, which is 192.168.200. Oops, I did not write. Numlog 192.168.200. So it just does not need the client ID or the machine ID, which is the last octet. It just needs the network ID. Suppose you have hundreds of machines, so the network ID will be the same. Just the client ID will keep on changing with the machine unless you want to make another subnet. Okay, anyway, so network ID is this, and click next. This is allow secure dynamic updates. This is just purely Active Directory related concept that if other DNS server is also under the Active Directory, then it will be considered secure. If the other DNS is, suppose Linux server DNS, and this is Microsoft DNS, so then second option, non-secure and secure. Third option is automatic updates are not allowed. So we're gonna be just sticking with the default option.
Sorry,
And
sir, one question.
Yep.
At last step, it doesn't allow us to type in one like 10. So is it okay?
yeah, so we're not gonna put the ID here of the machine. So machine ID always comes here, and it does not require that. So that's why it's blocked.
Yeah, thank
It's
you.
only network ID that it needs. So it's okay. Okay, next. And yeah, the default option here is okay, no change. Next. And finito, right? So whenever you make a change in the DNS, always go up to the machine DNS name here and always refresh just a few thousand times. Refresh. Okay. When I was in the class and I was saying that, so there's one student, one of the 20 students always go for clicking and banging the mouse 100 times. It's always the case. Anyway, so I miss the old days, in the class. Anyway. So let's go ahead. And forward lookup zone, reverse lookup zone is configured. But did this make any difference in the nslookup command? The answer to that. So I'm going to go up. I'm going to run that command again. And what I'm expecting is that there should be a fully qualified domain name for this machine showing here. So I'm just going to do up arrow, and I'm going to put and press enter. And there you go. It does not show that. Okay. So it does not show that. Unknown. It shows unknown, right? Why? So I'm going to minimize that again, and we're going to fix that too, right? Minimize. So what happened here in reverse lookup zone? Didn't we create it? Yes, we did. So let's open that and open that too. Oh, there's no machine record here. There's no machine. What is a machine record? Machine name and its IP. That's machine record. So normally it is called pointer record in reverse lookup zone. And the same thing is called same information. What information? Name of the machine, IP of the machine, that information. So that information is called a record in forward lookup zone, and that information is called PTR record or pointer record in reverse lookup zone. So if I go to forward lookup zone, expand that, go to my domain zone, and see, oh, my machine record or a record is here, which is machine name and IP address. But the same thing I could not find here in reverse lookup zone. So that's created. How do we do that? So I'm going to while inside forward lookup zone and inside the domain zone for our domain, we're going to double click this machine A record. Once you double click it, you see that option here, update associated pointer record, which means create the same information inside reverse lookup zone as well. So if somebody has an IP and wants to know the name, so that request will come to it and it will just show the name, right? So I'm going to select this option, update. So now it's in forward lookup zone and it's going to be inside reverse lookup zone as well. So I'm just going to click apply. And I'm going to press O and K. And after that, I'm going to go up here and I'm going to refresh it just a few thousand times. Oops. Okay, I clicked the wrong window. So it's few thousand times. Refresh. Okay, enough. So now let's check it out. First of all, let's go inside the reverse lookup zone and check if there's a machine record or pointer record created. Oh yes, there is. Now there's an IP and name. It's the same machine, but IP and name is there and it's called pointer record. Okay, so does it work? We're gonna go down to the command prompt and nslookup. So if it works here, suppose you had thousands of client machines connected and you run nslookup on any one of those machines, it will be exactly the same response on any of those machines connected to this domain controller. Control C, I'm going to go out of the interactive mode of nslookup. I'm just going to put up arrow. It will get back the old command and then press enter. Now it works. So, well, what it does is that it shows this is the proper fully qualified name of our DNS server and the IP of our DNS server. So that tells us that yes, forward lookup zone and reverse lookup zone both are configured properly. So that calls for a screenshot number 1. DNS configured is the name, right? So if you were following, then yeah, take your own screenshot when the video comes up and you're going to do the lab, then take the screenshot and replace it with my screenshot. Right now, you need to take my screenshot. DNS request timeout. Okay, Palak says that it shows to me DNS request timeout. Well, one of those steps that I did is missing. That is why it is showing that. So yeah, either one of the steps, either pointer record is not here, or the IP there 127 is there, or if you have put 193, 169, either 168 is 169 or 192 is 193. If any of those numbers are wrong, then it can happen.
No, actually, I configure everything. The step which you showed. I don't think so. It's worked on my computer.
If you can, okay, Leonard says work for him. Okay, so if you can quickly share your screen, then I can see all the areas, and if there's any correction needed, I'll correct it. Okay.
Actually, the same thing. Actually, I configure in the other laptop, so I couldn't able to share right now.
Okay, then it's step by step. It's like you have to just follow all the steps. When the video comes out, you can follow at that time if you want, and keep configuring the machines as I do right now. Or at the end of the class, we can T-shoot as well.
Okay, okay, no issue.
Yeah. Cool. Okay, guys. So here it should show that, and the screenshot would be and the first screenshot would be this. That is. I'm just going to take the sample screenshot here with my name. If you're not following my lab, then like you don't have your own lab right now exactly like this, so you can take a screenshot of my lab, but you have to replace it with you will have full week to do that, right? You will have to replace it with your lab screenshot, right? By following the video. So right now you have to take this screenshot. Okay. What is the screenshot name here? I'll just go for screenshot one, and that is screenshot one. Yeah, it's DNS configured. That's the name. And the old slide is a screenshot and put the new. Okay, so that's how the screenshot should be. And I'll take the screenshot of a screenshot. And now I have two screens. Before last class, I did not. I was in another area. Okay, so that's a screenshot one, and that's a sample screenshot. But you need to replace it with your name screenshot. With here you can see Amir Win, so it should be your name Win01 during the week or before the next class, right? Oh, actually, it will be tomorrow. Okay, next week, like the next class before that. Okay, so I'm going to and this I'll just remove that. So we will. This is the screenshot one. Here's okay. So screenshot one here is this, and let's go ahead. Okay, so it worked for Leonard. Where you go, man? But yeah, it's not that easy, guys. Any one single small, short, tiny little step missed, and the whole next few thousand steps are affected by that. So welcome to IT, right? Okay, so DNS is done, and oh, for Moise also it worked. Okay, way to go, guys. Well, like so others, if it didn't work, don't feel down because it's not that easy. I mean, I've been doing that a million times. So I'm like doing it with eyes closed and hands tied behind my back. No, I can't do that like this. But anyway, I've done it so many times, so it just works now. If you have done 1,000 times, it will work for you as well. You're doing the first time, so it's okay to have a mistake or to have an error, because then you're going to repeat that and you're going to master it when you repeat. Oh, there are more messages. Please, where can we find the slide you are using? Oh, Leonard, I haven't uploaded that slide. I will be uploading it because I'm making a lot of changes right now according to the class, and I'm putting a lot of pictures here or screenshots here. So at the end of the class, The class slide will be there. Yeah, my course is a bit different. Okay. Cool. And Chris says good for me. Oh, okay, nice, man. And Centra says for me as well. Way to go. Taiwo says also same for me. Okay, nice. So a few of us are following, are able to follow correctly as well. But maybe those guys are battle-hardened soldiers. They may or they are just technically very very they've done all the many other configurations as well, and any new configuration may not be that difficult. So that's very good. Way to go, guys. Navdeep also says it's work. Oh, okay. So it's a party now. Baba Fikayo says working for me. Evelyn says okay, me too. Mihir says me too. Any me three? Okay. So way to go. Okay, guys. So let's go ahead, because we just have just a few million more steps. Okay, so DNS is done. Let's go for DHCP. It's more easier, much easier than the other one. If we go to not here, we're going to go to the top right here. You can see that orange triangle, right? So if I click that, it says complete DHCP configuration, right? So let's click that, complete DHCP configuration, right? Once we click the complete DHCP configuration, so you can see that it's going to just say that, hey, Active Directory is going to be authorizing the DHCP to work. We're saying yes, and it's going to create 2 security groups here, which is okay for DHCP. I'm just going to click next here. Nothing to do, no changes here. And it says, hey, this is the authoritative account with which you're going to configure DHCP. Yes, so no change here as well. And click commit. Right? Once you click commit, you should be seeing done. Everyone, those who are following, are you seeing done or are you seeing undone? Oh, there's
Yes,
one
sir,
there.
we see done.
You can see done.
Hey, everyone wanted to say that word, right? That's why you're saying that. Okay. It's so much fun. Done. Okay, cool.
Sir, I
yeah.
have a question, please. Did you install Active Directory already here in your machine?
Hey, what kind of question is that, man? Last class, so that's what we were doing.
Yeah, Active Directory, but any configuration and any changes, did you do that?
Extra configuration? No, we only work on DNS today and DHCP.
Okay,
right?
okay. So
Cool.
thank you.
Welcome. All right, so it's yeah, as I was enjoying that done. Okay, let's just click close. All right, so DHCP has not been configured, it was just installed even now. So let's configure it. So let's go to tools on the top right and click DH and CP. There's no and there. Okay, done, written there as well. I'm just going to go for DHCP, and in DNS we create zones. In DHCP we create scopes. Oh, scoop, man, vanilla scoop. Okay, so here we expand that, right? So expand, and then IPv4 is there, and it should be green. If it's not green, then you can. If it is not green, then you can right click and go to a service here somewhere. Well, if it is not green, then it shows. If it is green, then it doesn't show. But you have to just start the service of DHCP. Okay, so here I see server options, policies, and filters. But I need to create a scope. What is a scope? If I right click here, it says here scope. Scope is where you tell the DHCP what to do and what to configure inside DHCP, and everything is happened in the scope. So let's create a new scope by right clicking on the IPv4, right? So new scope, and then we click next. Okay, so first you have to give a name here, like any name you can give here. I'm just going to go for company DHCP1. Could be branch DHCP, it could be anything. Okay, company DHCP1, and obviously your name, because I need to know it's your lab that you did. So go ahead and put your name there. Your first name and next. Okay, so we're going to give a IP range here.
Mister, do you have a space between DHCP and the one?
Yes. Yes.
You have a space.
Yeah, it allows that. Cool.
No, I mean, do we put a space when we type, or by default it will give us the space?
It's up to you. You don't want to put a space, it's okay. You want to put dashes, it's okay. You want to put a space, it's okay. Always okay. Cool. Okay, and please do put your name here at the end. And let's click next. Company DHCP1, your first name, right? Okay, next is you need to give an IP range here. Suppose you have 200 machines or virtual machines that you plan to create. Then you can put the range bigger. We're gonna create 5 or 6 machines. So we don't need to have a long range, but still we're gonna give 50 IPs here to be distributed by DHCP. So 192.168.200.50 up to 100. You can just choose from wherever you want to wherever you want within the 255, 254, under 254. 192.168.200.100. We're not going to have 50 virtual machines, but still we're just giving from 50 to 100. So whenever we create first virtual machine and we let it get an IP from DHCP, it will be getting the first IP, whatever is the first IP. So it will be 50, right? Okay, so once we have given this, we're good. Let's go ahead and click next. We don't need to add exclusions and delay. We don't need that. Next. Then lease duration is 8 days. So after 8 days, the virtual machine will get this IP renewed, whichever IP is given by the DHCP. So whatever is the option here is okay. And next. Yes, I want to configure these options now. So it says that, hey, do you want to configure some more options in the DHCP? So I say yes. I'm going to click next. So no change on this page. Okay, it's asking for default gateway. So although we did not give default gateway to this, first server, but still we are pretending that this server is the default gateway for all other machines, because one of the VMware feature needs that some kind of default gateway has to be put here. In our environment, we don't need a default gateway because we don't have any such device, but we're going to pretend that this first machine is a default gateway. Normally in production environment, it's a router, right? Some kind of router. But here, we don't have a router. We don't need a router. So we're going to pretend that this is the default gateway. So we're going to give the IP 200.10 here, pretending that we have a default gateway. 192.168.200.10. So I'm going to click add. If you don't click add, it's not going to be added. You have to click add. Now it is added. So this means that DHCP will tell all the clients that it distributes IP address to that, hey, this is the default, this is our default gateway. It's going to tell all the client machines, right? Okay, next. And DHCP will tell all the client machines that this is the domain name, and DNS will tell all the client machines that this is the IP of the DNS server as well. So this machine also, first machine also offers DNS services. So this is the IP. So DHCP will tell it to all the client machines. Next. Wins is an old name resolution server that is Microsoft proprietary. We don't need that. We have DNS already doing a good job. So we're going to just not fill this up and click next. Yes, I want to activate the scope. So yes, the scope will be activated. So next. And finito, right? So once we finish it, then we go ahead and try to configure some more. Okay, so that happens when you watch too many movies. Okay, so here, now what we need to do is DHCP is good. And obviously later in the lab, we're going to see that DHCP is working fine because we're going to be creating a virtual machine inside a hypervisor. But where are we now in terms of our plan? So we have configured Active Directory here. Active Directory offers authentication, authorization, and accounting, but we did not install Active Directory in a VMware environment, so Active Directory could offer authentication and authorization and accounting to VMware? No. VMware, and especially this enterprise grade application called vCenter, it has its own authentication system as well. We installed it because it's an exam objective that how to connect Windows Active Directory to a VMware vCenter or a hypervisor. So that's why we installed it. Okay, because you're going to find this in pretty much majority of the companies. Okay, so, and then we installed the DNS server properly and DHCP server properly. Now what? So now comes the part for the VMware itself, VMware side of the stuff we need to do. This was also for VMware, but this was all Microsoft till now. And now we're going to go for the VMware here. So let's create 3 new virtual machines. This is another long steps here, but obviously this will take us to our proper configuration of the whole VMware environment. So what are we going to do? So I did show a map at the start, which shows all the IP addresses. This needs to be followed up now. So I'll just open another paintbrush here. All right. So now our plan is, okay, this is done. This is done. This is done. This we will be doing later. Now we need to get a hypervisor installed in 3 virtual machines. Now these virtual machines, obviously, majority of the students have RAM equals 16 GB, right? Although many of the students have 32 GB RAM, but majority have 16 GB, I think, right? So this calls for then, I will be thinking that I have 16 GB RAM as well. Actually, I'm working on a laptop right now, which actually has 16 GB RAM, but I have the other desktop mini PC that is that is having 32 GB RAM. So by next class, I'll be shifting to this bigger machine. Okay, and literally it's not big. What am I doing? What am I doing? What am I doing? Let me show you guys quickly. That would be very, very quick. So my machine, if the camera catches it right, it's my big desktop with 32 GB RAM and 1 terabyte SSD. Looks like this. Well, it's uploading in WhatsApp, if you can see that. So it can come on my palm, on my hand's palm. It's so small, but it's a full desktop, right? It's called mini PC, I think. Anyway, so you can, if you have big servers or bigger desktops, it's okay. The main thing is, do you have enough RAM to install this lab? Okay, let's go for the first machine. And what is our CPU and RAM will be there. So if I just go down to the configurations here, then first of all, let's create 3 VMs with the following configurations. That is, okay, 2 processors, and for now, 4 GB RAM. And okay, it's 4 GB is compulsory. It's compulsory for VMware hypervisor. Minimum. It doesn't go lesser than that for VMware hypervisor. Compulsory. Okay. Hey, all this spelling is wrong. Yeah, I knew that. It's SOR, it's not SA. Okay. So anyway, so 4 GB RAM and 200 GB disk. This is out of habit that I put just 200 GB. We're never going to grow up to this 200 GB RAM. And remember, it is thin provision. So, you have to be professional. You have to know the concepts, and the concepts must be very clear. If we say thin provision, it means it's not going to take space in our hard disk. So if you're still afraid, oh, 200 GB, no, I'm not going to give that because it's going to take space in my laptop hard disk. It will fill up. So this means that if you're afraid, obviously, this field is not for you, or any field is not for you wherever you're afraid and you want to earn 35 per hour, 45 per hour, 55 per hour. If you're having such objectives, big objectives, it's a pretty good salary, right? And then you're afraid of this, then what can we do? Then you will take more time to get a good job. Otherwise, trust the concepts and do it, right? Okay, 200 GB. Still, if you're too afraid, you can go for 100 GB, but it doesn't really matter. You put 1 terabyte, it's the same thing. Okay, then 200 GB, and then 1 NIC for now. 1 NIC for now. I'll literally write for now. And then yeah, that's it. Okay, 1 NIC on NAT, and the protocol would be NAT, but we're gonna fix that for others. In fact, we don't need that VMNet. So when I'm doing that, I'm just gonna explain the whole thing, but VMNet 15. So all 4 machines have to be on the same VMNet, right? Anyway, let's just create that, and then I'm going to keep on explaining this even further. So I'm going to go back to this hypervisor here, VMware workstation here, and then okay. So here, let's create a new machine. So how do I create a new machine? I'll go to the home. Before that, guys, what is the RAM that we gave to this machine? Because I think we gave more RAM to this because we needed to install it fast, right? Now we need more RAM for other machines. So I'm going to right click here and check it out, and settings. What is the RAM that I gave to this machine? One day, Monday or Sunday, it's going to open. Okay, 8 GB RAM. Okay, here, let's talk about this again, because you are a VMware administrator, virtualization administrator. You have to know what underlying physical resources you have, and what virtual resources you are about to create on top of those physical resources. If you are creating something that requires more physical resource, then that's not a very good idea. If you have a total of 16 GB RAM, you have to stay under that RAM, right? So this means that I'm going to give here 2 GB RAM to this. And even when we go 4 GB here, RAM, 4 GB and 4 GB. So anyone here, PhD in maths, who can add up? So 4 times 3, 12, plus 2, 14. So we're still 2 GB less 16, right? So those who have 32 GB, you guys are good. You could just yawn on it, and while I'm planning this for 16 GB guys. But 32 GB guys, you could just go ahead, even if you want to keep this. Even if you want to put it down, even for 32 GB guys, I will recommend just put it to 2 GB. Why? Active Directory, DNS, DHCP does not need more RAM for their own running. Even when we put software SAN here, configure it, it's not going to need more than 2 GB RAM. And believe me that in VMware course, as we go ahead, we're going to need every inch of RAM. So even 32 GB guys will be struggling. If they're going to be struggling, then maybe 16 GB guys will be crying. Anyway, so no, we're still going to be doing that lab even if you have 16 GB. So right now, this is our RAM distribution. Now this one is 8 GB. So we're going to shut it down. We're going to change it to 2 GB, and we're going to power it on again. Then we're going to go for the other ones, right? So that's the first thing. Change the RAM of the first machine to 2 GB. Second thing is, this machine is offering us infrastructure services, especially DNS and DHCP. So this machine has to be up all the time, right? You cannot just shut it down. Oh, let me just save that RAM. So I'm going to shut down the first machine so I could install the second machine. When you start the second machine, it's going to need the first machine to be up for the DNS services, right? So this machine is kind of an oxygen providing for the whole environment. you stop this, the whole environment is dead. Well, what an analogy, right? Cool. Okay, anyway, so this, let's just, change the RAM, shut down the machine, change the RAM, power it on, and then start creating the other machines. I'm going to go back here. And so you cannot do that while the machine is started. See? Hey, it's cool, right? Go fast, right? Just kidding. Okay, cancel. So here, I'm just gonna shut down this machine. So you can do it from within the server. How do you do that? You can right click on this. Hey, make sure you're not right clicking on your Windows 10. That is very close here, right? If you right click here and do that, it will shut down your Windows 10 and including this dude as well. So I'm gonna shut down this, and it's asking for a reason. I'm saying nothing and shut down.
Sayed, one question.
Yeah.
So the 3 VMs we will install in these, are we going to install DSCP and DNS as well, or no?
No.
Okay, only one. The main machine will have.
Exactly. Yep. Always one machine or maybe two machines for high availability has these roles, and all other machines only receive those services from one or two machines. Yeah. So it's going to be just one machine.
Okay, thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. All right, guys. So I'm just going to go to memory. Click that. Okay, I have to convince this. Okay, I clicked it. So 2 GB. I'm just going to click on 2 GB and it's going to go down there, right? 2 GB, and it is down now. I'm going to press O and K. Power on, power on. Okay, so I'm just going to power on this machine now. After it is 2 GB, make sure it is 2 GB and it stays 2 GB for the rest of the course. Okay, power on. I don't know where this B came from, but if you hear clapping, so it's not like I'm clapping for someone. I'm just trying to kill the bee. Did I say that? No, I'm just pushing the bee away. Okay, so this machine is starting. We can let it start. We don't have to really wait for the ice to melt. We don't need to see that. We can go ahead and simultaneously start creating a new virtual machine here, right? So I'm going to click home button here. If you don't see that, then click file and new virtual machine is the same thing, right? Home button here. Oh, but okay, I'll ask as I create the machine. Do you have the hypervisor downloaded already? Okay, Taiwo has a hands up. Was there a question? No? Yes? Maybe? Okay. So I'm going to no, okay. Oh, there's a no. There are two no's here, 728, just now. So you don't have a hypervisor software? Ouch. Did I not give you?
No, we don't.
All right. Yeah, it's 1 GB or 2 GB software, so it's very, very small. I'll quickly give that a driver. I'm just on the other screen, I'm grabbing the link and you can start downloading right away. While that is happening, we're gonna still go for some other discussion. So I'll give the link right now. VMware.
And Sayed, we need VMware hypervisor, right? Not Windows hypervisor.
Yeah, we need hypervisor software 7.0, which I'm about to give now. Yeah, so it's hypervisor update 1. Get the link. Anyone with the link, copy link. Done. Okay, so I'm gonna put it in WhatsApp and as well as in WebEx. So I put it in WebEx already. And I'm putting it in my guys. Download the VMware ESXi7 hypervisor. So what is the it is giving you for download? So when you're downloading, is it fast or is it slow or is it fast?
300 megs. Is it 300 megabytes?
Should we install it, sir?
Yeah, it's
Download it.
oh, it's fast. It's very small actually, so it's gonna be okay. You can install it right away.
Sir, when I try to open it, so it's just showing the folders and
Oh, no,
files.
no. We're only going to download it. I'm gonna show how to use it. So please do not
Okay.
open it.
Okay, thank you.
Cool, welcome. So guys, those who have downloaded, can you mention there in the chat downloaded? Or you can say done. Just for fun, done. Or download it. Cool. It's raining downloaded. Okay. Downloaded, done, downloaded. Okay. Anyone left? Maybe I should ask this way. Wow, that was fast. That is so good. Okay, so everything says not yet. I'm gonna try to know if I have it or not. Okay, that's Italiano Mexicana accent. You know, there's one Italian guy there in other class, in my Azure class. So I said that, and he was like so happy to hear this. And then he said something in Italian or Spanish, and well, I have yet to translate that. And I'll put it in Google Translate. Where am I going? Yep. Do I have that too? OMG. Seriously? Oh no. What?
Search for VMvisor or something.
Yeah, actually, I always
ISO file, right, sir?
Yeah, it's an ISO file, and yeah, please do not try to start it. Oh, software. I don't have it. Okay, so I'm just gonna quickly download that. Seriously, I was giving others the link, and no, it's a machine that I am not supposed to do my labs on. This is, as I said, 16 GB machine. I normally do the lab on my other desktop. There I have all the software. So let me just grab that link quickly, and it will be just 2-3 minutes. Should be. Here go Pro. And it's my default browser. Okay, so 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Okay, so it's finishing for me as well. $80, $90, $100. Yay. Okay. So I have opened the folder and VM nowhere. VMware. Okay. And yeah, now I'm good. Okay, guys. So everyone has downloaded this file, VM Visor, right? And let's go ahead with what we were doing. Oh, well, yeah, so it's okay. All right. So I'm gonna go for this machine again. We were on this home button or the file, and you have clicked this new virtual machine. So let's click that new virtual machine, create new virtual machine, right? And then once we click that, so just like the Windows machine typical, we're gonna go for typical, next. And then this time we're not gonna go for the workaround because we do not need a workaround. We are gonna go for installer disk image. The second option, we're gonna go browse. Where? Whenever you just downloaded that hypervisor, go there and select it after clicking this browse button. So I'm just gonna click browse here and paste my path where I have put in this. Seriously, what's wrong with my English? Put this and VMvisor, double click that. Okay, so E6i7, so far so good, right? And click next. Okay, guys, so we're gonna give it a name, and name has to be ESXi01 dash your first name, right? Dash FUMB dash VCP7 dash seriously 29 capital 22 dash Ontario dash Canada dash North America dash Earth. Okay, no. So just 22. So this is our naming convention for the next two machines. I'm gonna copy this now. Right click and copy for next two machines because then I'm gonna just change the E6i1 to 2, right? And then E6i1 to 3. So I'm gonna copy this name here. I'll keep it there. And yeah, I'm gonna keep this path here. It's okay. And that's it. So once you put the name, click next. Oh, 142. Wow. Where did it come with? Yeah.
Sir, that was the type all that long name, or you can make it shorter.
Well, you can make it shorter. You don't want to put the date. It's okay. Then
No,
it's
because I'm not seeing. It's kind of small. After you're saying.
Oh, let me just copy that name here in WhatsApp. No, that's the name. Oh, in WebEx and WhatsApp as well. So you can let me know always for whatever I'm typing, and I'll just put it in the chat as well. Okay, so next, let's click next. Okay, it's 200 for no particular reason, and it's 10 provision, so why not? And let's keep the conversions exactly the same, guys. My suggestion. And let's not be creative during when we are learning, right? So very few creative students, creative quote unquote, they were stuck at the middle of the class with some of the labs because they thought no, this conversion is better than
Hello?
that. Yep. Okay. Yeah. Hello. Wrong. Right number. Yeah. Hey, was it this hello for me or okay? So 200, and that's it. Next.
Yeah, it was for you, sir.
Oh, it was for me. Cool. Yeah.
Not necessarily for you. The person that was saying that he couldn't see the screen, he needed to increase his zoom. Like, yeah, when it looks on the top of the screen, you will see the number. Yeah, number of zoom.
Good. That's a very good suggestion. So I forgot who was saying that it's too small. So you can go to WebEx and then zoom your screen, right?
Yeah, we can do that.
Guys, any one of you can take a screenshot of where the zoom option is and put it on WhatsApp,
Yeah, I
if it's
can do
possible.
that.
Okay, thank you.
I'll just do it right away.
Thank you. All right, guys. So here we're gonna go for customize hardware, right? Customize hardware, and then you can see the 4 GB we didn't give, and it's already there. So minimum 4 GB a hypervisor will need, and if you give it lesser than that, it's not gonna work, right? Okay, Deep has shared that. Thank you.
Quick question. You said we're keeping it at 200 GB for the hard drive?
Yes.
And we keep it split disk or single?
Yeah, it's the default split disk, which is okay. Okay, guys, so 4 GB is the default, which is okay. And also Pollock says press Alt plus Enter, and Navdeep has also shared the screen. So whoever wants to, make the screen bigger, so you can do that. And yeah, so 4 GB here. Processors are 2. It's okay. No change in the processors. Number of cores per processor 1. CD DVD is okay. Yeah.
Sir, my machine is saying virtualized Intel is not supported on this platform. I'm not sure why.
Intel is not supported on this platform.
Same for
Is
me.
your first? Also you?
Yep.
Where? I mean, like we haven't started the machine. Have you started the machine?
Oh yeah.
I haven't started the machine, but once I installed it, it said it's not supported.
Intel is not supported. Are your laptops AMD?
No, Core i7.
Okay. Well, you can follow me for now. And like, are you exactly on this screen where I am?
Yes, sir. This is what I was telling. I could not even install the Windows server because this is an Alienware, and I do not know why in the BIOS setup they don't have the virtual machine. I think it's enabled by default, but I could not figure it out.
Hello, sir. Yes, yeah, I think I could help with that. So, I had a problem, but it had to do with processors. So there's a part that they will get to processors, and they're going to use a double processors. Not this one that is on your screen. Sorry, I'm echoing. Wait, but I'm sorry about that.
No problem.
If you can minimize your screen a bit, I'll just take them through.
Yeah, so you're saying that they can share the screen and you will take them to?
No, from your screen, I should be able to, or maybe let's just finish this section. So I'll just show them where they would fix that.
Yeah, that would be good. You can share on your screen and show if that's what you meant. Okay, RF is way ahead of us. And there's another Farhan has shown, and it's sidewise. So virtualized VT is not supported on this platform. Continue without virtualized inter VT. Wow. When you press yes, Farhan, what happens? Like you should go to BIOS and it should show you.
So in the BIOS, in this Alienware computer, in this BIOS, they don't have the virtualization option. I mean, it's supposed to have a virtualization option enable and disable, but by default it's enabled. So I did try everything out. Virtual machine works, Oracle VMware works, but this does not work. I do not know why. So if the virtual machine was not enabled, I don't think VMbox was supposed. I mean, the VM VirtualBox was not supposed to work either, right?
You're working in VirtualBox?
No, I'm not working in VirtualBox. I'm saying that if the virtual machine was not enabled by default, then the VM VirtualBox would not have worked either. But VM VirtualBox works, but VMware Workstation, I do not know why it doesn't work.
So when you press yes, it does not work still,
No.
right?
It didn't even work for the Windows Server. That's why I was stuck.
Oh, hey, is there an option to change the laptop somehow? Okay. So yeah, I know that's a long shot. But some laptops, if they have some kind of issue, either you can take to someone, you know, like support, some support. Oh, so yeah, you can, you know, share your screen after the end of the class, and then we can check it out. What can we do?
Okay, sir.
Cool. All right, guys. So anyone else was doing anything else, or shall I go ahead? Yeah.
Just so I don't drag the class back. So
okay.
They can go to VM. That's why I wanted you to. How do I explain this to your sister?
Well, maybe in the break, you and that guy could connect directly, and if you don't want to have a break, then or at the end of the class, you guys both can connect and you can help.
Okay, that's fine, sir.
Cool.
Yes, sir.
Okay, guys. So those who are having issues, you can please at the end of the class contact each other directly on WebEx or on any other software. And thank you for those who are helping others. And my salute to those who are volunteering. That's the way to go. But yeah, we have to also see all the steps and understand. And I have very long labs to offer if we have time, right? So I'll go ahead now.
Sorry, Saeed, just one quick question. What changes did you made in hardware?
What changes?
Yeah.
Well, in this hardware.
Yeah, this hardware. Did you make any changes? No, the hardware.
Customized hardware.
Yeah.
No change.
No change,
No
right?
change at all.
Okay.
No change at all. Cool. All right, guys. So no change here, but I was explaining all this, you know, just to show those options, but no change at all. I'm gonna click close. And we're gonna start that. So it already shows power on this virtual machine and finish. So yeah, it's just starting the machine. Oh, serious, you can see this. Wow, it's coming to me. Are you kidding me? What are you talking about? It is coming to me as well. Wow.
Maybe now we can troubleshoot together, sir.
All right. So virtualize Intel VD, EVD is not supported on this platform. Oh, so it's hypervisor that I'm installing. And continue without virtualized Intel VT. If I press yes, okay. Seriously, no kidding. Let me just start again. This machine, did I not install ever hypervisor before? If I say no, it's just gonna continue. Okay, now Leonard, you were saying something? Because I can quickly switch to my other machine and then continue the lab, but
in your situation, you also saw that problem because you chose two processors. Yeah, maybe try changing the processor. It had to do with the processor problem.
I click that processors now.
Yes, sir.
While doing that, I'm also starting my other desktops. Seriously, I didn't expect my.
Sorry,
So increase the processor maybe by one more.
Sorry?
Tried that, Leonard, it doesn't work.
Wow.
No, it's Intel VT actually. Guys, I'm just gonna go desperate now. I'm gonna select this option, but I think it's Intel VT related stuff for new laptops. So Yeah, actually, guys, those who are showing the screen, Arif is showing and Mohammed Bodi is showing. Please carry on, continue. There's a hit continue there. Or Moise also is. Guys, anyone else having this issue of Intel
Yes,
18 not
sir.
supporting?
Yeah, not the supported one. Just this cancel or continue.
Okay, can you share your errors on the screen?
So 2% already share in the group. So
Okay,
I'm
it's the same.
yeah.
All right. Okay, guys. So yeah, I was gonna say, hey, this is you can change your laptop and something, and now it's happening to me as
I
well.
think
Seriously.
this is the step. It's not the error. Yeah. So we just
It's
need
not.
to go for continue.
It is a welcome message. Then
Yeah.
we have to choose either continue, I guess.
I don't think it shows me continue, but let me just start that. It's
It's on
either a yes
the
or no.
it's on the
Where's the
group,
continue
yeah.
here? Oh, okay. Oh, on the group for the screenshot you're talking about. Okay. So Mohammed Goli, just click continue. It's not click. It's all keyboard based later.
Yeah.
So it's all keyboard based, guys. Just click on the keyboard, the screen, and then press enter on the keyboard, and it will continue, right? For Sinchana, sorry, and Wiz, I think this is not an error. It's exactly. Hey, let me just show you. So guys, those who are having this, oh, 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 I, ugh, okay, seriously, okay. I was gonna show this while I need to troubleshoot my error as well. Yeah, this. If you see this, then just click enter, press enter on the keyboard. Because you cannot click, you have to press enter.
And
Then
on
it will
next
ask,
step, you have to press down arrow key for like 1,000 times.
no, no, no. So
Before
keep showing your
accepting.
screenshots, guys. I'm gonna tell you what to do. Keep
Yes,
showing your
sir.
screenshots.
I'm at the screen where it says accept F11 and continue.
Just click F11.
Oh no, I'm
Exactly.
trying, but it's
Yeah,
not
the
letting me
function key.
press
With
it.
the function
No, no,
key.
no.
You are using
With
the
the
Dell laptop, right?
Yeah.
exactly every laptop
Yeah.
function key plus F11.
Yeah, it works with
Yeah,
function.
that's what I'm doing.
No,
But it
function
happened
plus
for
Not
me.
F11.
letting
I
me do
shared a
it.
screenshot. Can you check it, please?
Yeah, this one. No, the next one. Okay. This is a screenshot where you just press enter to continue because it's just showing the disk 200 GB. So nothing to do here. If I go ahead, yeah, just press enter to continue. And who's this? You have to give some kind of ISO there first. And it has to be the VM-Visor ISO, right?
Sir,
Whoever.
I'm trying to press F11, but it's not doing anything.
No, so F11 has a light as well, some light
With
showing. No?
function F11.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so FN
I
F11,
know.
FN.
Guys.
Then
I'm pressing F11, but
it's
no, sorry.
What is the root password?
yeah, the root password is a class password.
Okay.
Wow. Okay, so everyone is going ahead of me, and I'm like, staring at the screen. So anyone who was able to resolve this issue? Like this is first time I'm getting this myself as well. Otherwise, I was gonna say to other students, "Hey, just purchase another $2,000 laptop."
Sorry,
Now I'm
guys.
stuck
So,
with this.
anyone else having an issue with the F11?
Oh, hey, first my problem, then your problem. I'm just kidding.
When I press F11, it just says fail. And I'm
Yeah.
wearing a $2,000 laptop.
It doesn't say
It's a new-
anything.
Okay, guys.
Navdeep, you can press the Control-Alt, further release your mouse cursor and try to again F11. It will be work, I think so.
Okay. I try.
Click on this black area here. This is it's going to capture the virtual screen. Then F11, then FN and F11, function key and F11. If your mouse is outside of the screen, it's not going to work. You have to click it. So the mouse is gone. It's selected. then function key and F11. Okay, so I think that is the okay. Moise, just press 12 for the final install or F11, whichever that.
It's not
And
working. F11.
final install.
F11 is not working for me. Sorry.
Oh, then change the key and take it to the store, laptop store.
Just
And
up and down arrows working, nothing else. I press
now
the
you have to
control and
select the
alt
screen.
as well to release the mouse, but
Yeah. Okay. Control and alt to release the mouse, but don't release the mouse.
yeah,
Select
after
it,
that I click it again and it's
then
gone.
function key and F11 after that. Well, wow. So if you could share your screen, then yeah, but what would we do? We don't have. Okay, Moise says same. What's it? So Moise, your guys, I'm trying to help those who are ahead of me now.
Hello,
So
sir.
there's that F11. Yeah.
Yeah, so I had this problem too. So what I did was to go, yeah, to the VM settings and the
VM settings.
just the VM settings. Yeah, the processor.
Thank you
Mhm.
for having us.
Wow, let me take the screenshot of this error.
And
And
just stop.
yeah,
I mean, just uncheck the first. Yeah, processor. Yeah, I did. Yeah.
VM settings. I've just clicked the edit virtual machine.
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'm clicking that. Yeah, processor.
Processors. So that the first one, I just uncheck it, sir. No, the very first virtualized
Oh,
Intel
uncheck
VT.
it. This one.
Yeah. Yes, sir. And fixed it.
Oh man, seriously. Like we're not gonna use Intel VT at all. You will only be able to run 32-bit nested. Okay. It's not gonna go for 64-bit. Well, okay, guys. So Leonard has, really won the day, and
Thank you,
you deserve.
Leonard. It's working for me now as well.
Yeah, Leonard, it's a big clap for you. Clap, 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 clap. I'm just making the sound as well. And you deserve plus 20 temperature. Not the marks, but yeah, thank you very much for this. But you do deserve plus 20. Yeah. Because it's cold here, right? So I'm pushing the temperature. Serious. Thank you, Leonard. Wow. You're amazing. Thank you very much.
Sir, what are we
And,
supposed to do now?
okay, now I'm going to show you because it's working now. So I'm going to show you now. So the first step, those who are ahead of me, yeah, it's okay, I understand. But the rule of the course is I know click, you know click, right? So that's the rule of the course. I know click, you know click. Anyway, this is an exception. But for next settings, if I'm going fine, then don't go ahead of me. But this is okay. It's for your own good because there will be a lot of customization I'll be doing. So as soon as this machine loads, I'm going to be telling you then what to do. Many of the students have already done it, which is okay. Just whatever password you give, don't forget that password because then you have to reinstall the whole thing again if you know the hypervisor. Now I'm just it's just loading there. Thanks to Leonard, that now we are going ahead again. I was gonna say Leonardo DiCaprio, and then I was thinking of Titanic. So, and then yeah, my Titanic was, it's unsunk now. Thank you. So
Can we use the same password that has the original VM machine?
exactly. So whichever password you were using since the start of the course, you can keep using that here as well. And
okay,
overall, we should not be forgetting the password. All right. So now it is going ahead and it is thinking of going ahead, I think, because I just really want to push that ahead so it could start the process. But only nested 32-bit applications can work. Okay, that's what it said. Before that, I need to shift to my 32 GB desktop. Okay. So I don't want to see some errors on the vCenter. That's the heavy enterprise grade application. But that's really, really weird for newer laptops. Why did I have to do a research? Or maybe there's an update in VMware Workstation. Or maybe there's an update that we need to remove in VMware Workstation that is causing this. Okay, guys, so non-persistent logs are stored, blah, blah, blah. Okay, what? Come on, restart. Yeah, good. Okay, guys, so here, those of you who are already here, who were already here, see this, first of all, Control-Alt to release the mouse, and then select the mouse and go inside Control-Alt to release it. Second thing is, I'm just gonna click the screen, and onwards from here, it's keyboard-based. I'm just gonna press Enter after selecting the screen. Then F11, the famous F11, right? So I'm gonna press my function key and press F11. Before pressing that, I'm so scared to death now that if I don't face the same thing, but I'm just gonna go ahead. Where's F11? Seriously? Hey, what is wrong with me? Okay, I'm discovering my new laptop to be, it just really sucks. I need to turn on lights. Oh, there is the lights. And oh, there is F11. Seriously, what's wrong with me? Okay. Oh, it works. Cool. I was so scared to death. Okay, so function F11 after you selected this screen. After that, it's just keyboard based. This is 200 GB disk. And yeah, I need that disk. So press enter. Yes, US default language. Nothing here. Press enter. And the root password, small ABC, capital ABC, shift 123 without shift 123, tab, small ABC, capital ABC, shift 123 without shift 123, enter.
So do we have to type in the same password or we can do anything?
Well, if you want to change the password here, and Windows is different and this is different, just make sure you don't forget it.
I could not even install Windows, so I will make same password in Windows as well. So
that's a very good reason for having this. Yeah, I'm just what? Okay, yeah, sure. Wherever we're putting in the course, the password, we're just using the same password so we don't forget. But in a production environment, definitely there are different passwords. Here it's same. Yep. Enter. Or even if you want to go for different, it's okay. Just remember it. Okay, functions F11. And yeah, so guys, it's pretty straightforward installation. It just does a final restart. Now we're gonna do the same for the next two hypervisors as well. It's just next finish, right? It's like enter, and that's it. Put the password and F11 and that's it. So Leonard says, what's the password? Leonard is the chief guest today. So obviously he solved a big issue here. So yeah, whatever Leonard says today, we have to do that. If he says finish the class now, then obviously we don't do that. But other than that, maybe you need something to drink or I'll virtually send that, you know. But yeah, you've done a big thing today. Thank you.
By the way, can I ask, like, what was the solution? What the Reynolds said?
Oh yeah, the solution was this settings, and then you go to the processor and temporarily, like, we uncheck this. So there was no other way. Otherwise, I would definitely don't want that that we don't use the Intel power, and it's gonna not use 64-bit now. It's gonna use 32-bit speed, but it works. That's the only way it's going ahead. So unchecking this, by default it is checked, this first option.
Oh, yeah.
So we uncheck it.
Right.
That's all.
Yeah.
Cool. But this happened in newer laptops, and in my older laptop it didn't happen. So we have to Google it, guys, because if vCenter application did not work, then we're stuck. That's gonna be a big bad news. Okay, guys, this is doing an installation. We don't need to really see that. We can start the second machine and third machine and pretty much do the same thing, install the hypervisor. So I'm just going to go to home button here, right? I'm going to go to home button to start a second machine, 4 GB as well. So I'm just going to click create new. And So I'm just gonna click create new here. Typical. While the other two machines are started, we're okay. Next, right? We don't have to put the path of the VM visor because the second machine will take whatever the first machine had, and VM visor path is already there. So next, no change. Remember that we put the, oh man, the name here, ESXi1. Okay, it's showing here on the left side, so I'm just gonna put that ESXi02 dash your first name, not my first name, your first name dash humble dash VCP7. Specifically, I'm doing that for myself to put all this because I do a lot of other courses. So I need to know that which machine is for which course. But anyway, it's yeah.
My thing is telling me that password does not have enough character types. Do I need to put a special character in the password?
Well, you can just change the password to anything you like.
No, what I do, I have, but it's saying character.
It has to have a uppercase and a special character and number.
That's a special character.
Yes, the password complexity you're talking about. Okay, cool. Yeah.
Thanks.
So the installation is complete. So do I select the remove the installation media before rebooting?
Well, even if you don't remove, it's gonna work. But if you want to remove, it's also okay.
Actually, not necessary because I did the reboot, but without removing, and it works.
Yeah, it works. Exactly. All right, guys. So I'm just going to click next here after giving that very long name. And 200 is the disk in provisioned disk size with default split virtual disk into multiple files. Next. And customize hardware not just to, I was going to say there's no change here to do, but we just recently discovered that we have to make a change here. And this is unchecking this option here, virtualize Intel VT
Sir, one
XPVT.
question. So mine is working with this virtualized Intel checked. So can I go ahead with that,
Yes.
or I have to check it, uncheck it?
So for those it's working, do not uncheck it. For those it's not working, uncheck it.
Thank you.
All right. So welcome. Okay, guys. So I'm just gonna uncheck it because it's not working for me. But if it's working for you, do not uncheck it. Okay. Close. Finito. And the power on. Once it is a power on, you will need 32-bit. Seriously, I should have taken a screenshot of it. Oh, it's recording in the video. Okay. I want to see that error. Okay, so it is, yeah.
How many machines we have to install? 3.
So yeah, so we have gone for these 2. I'm gonna go for third one now.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Cool. And total 4, but 3 hypervisors. Okay. Guys, now this is starting. It's gonna take some time. I'm gonna check back on the first on this first ESXi1 machine. So it's on the final message, which is just simply enter. So I'm going to select this screen first by clicking the mouse on top of it. Then I'm going to press enter on the keyboard and leave it to restart. I'm going to release the mouse with Control Alt. Mouse is released. Now, if I check back on second machine is still starting, I'll leave it at that. I'm going to start installing the third machine as well. Okay, Chris says, which special character works for you? At sign, exclamation sign, pound sign, or you can see the whole list here on the top. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If you press shift.
I think the problem is this. Oh man, this echo is loud.
That's a lot of echo. Cool. It sounds like the sound is coming from heavens. Okay. Well, you were saying something? You can type it. Chris, don't work for me. So change, Chris, change this to 2 exclamation marks, right? Or 2 pound signs instead of at, right? Okay. So I'm going to start the third machine. So I'm going to click home button again. It's pretty much the same thing. Create new. So guys, once the hypervisor is fully installed, stay there. Don't do anything. Well, actually, it's a bit tricky from there. So I guess you're going to have to stay there and wait for me. I'm going to start the third one here, create new virtual machine. Typical. Next.
So can we have a break and come back while the machine is installing?
Yes, I was thinking the same thing, that we are supposed to have a break here. So guys, I'm going to start the third machine with the same process and let's take a break. So that's if you have started the third machine already, then yes, the break starts 8:10. We can come back at 8:30. Right? I'm just going to go quick now and put the name ESXi3 here. Yes, I had already copied that. So ESXi3 dash your first name dash hum BCP7 29 September Earth Galaxy Milky Way Galaxy. Okay, next 200. Nothing else. Next, customize hardware and change the processor if it gives you an issue. If it doesn't, don't change that option. Simple. Right? Close it. Now it's going to power on and the break starts. So we meet at 8:30. 8:30. Muting and pausing the recording. I'll resume. And
I'm in already.
okay, you have
Done with the
installed also.
installation.
All right, guys, so that's great. If you have done the installation, I'm on E6i1 and it's stopped at this screen. So I'm going to go for the other E6i2. It's ready to be installed. I'm just going to click that and follow the steps. Press enter to continue. Function key and F11 key to go ahead. So the next two machines are just going to go through the process as well. Press enter to continue. US default language, enter to continue. And then the two passwords, small ABC, capital ABC, shift 1, 2, 3, without shift 1, 2, 3, tab, small ABC, capital ABC, shift 1, 2, 3, without shift 1, 2, 3, enter. And then enter again. And function key F11. All right. So it's installing on the second machine. Control Alt to release the mouse. I'm going to go for the third machine. It's also waiting from the start, so press enter. We know the drill now. Function key F11. Okay, Pollux says I installed 3 VMs. Okay, way to go. Moises, we already did it on the third machine. Okay, good. Chris says should be installed on hypervisor on the third machine. Yes. And I'm going to press enter, US default, enter, and the password, class password. Enter. If you forget this password, hypervisor, you won't be able to enter the hypervisor, obviously, and then we don't offer any hacking or cracking services of the password, so you have to reinstall the whole hypervisor. So make sure that you remember the password with the function key F11. Okay, so Control Alt and the mouse is out. Now, second and third machines are both installing, which is good. but the first machine is already there on the configuration page. And you can see that it got an IP address from somewhere, from a DHCP, but this is not the IP address range that we gave. So obviously, it got this IP from the DHCP of VMware Workstation, which is not what we want. So guys, those who are following, the 4 machines must have the same VMnet, or they should be within the same subnet, or they should be in the same network, right? So if I right click on first machine and go to settings here, I need to check the network, or which is known as VMnet here. So the first machine is actually on VMnet 15, the network adapter, custom VMnet 15. As we discussed at the start of the class, that if the VMnet of all the machines is exactly the same, then they can communicate with each other. If it's different, then they cannot. As I remember, the VMnet of these 3 machines, the hypervisors, VMware hypervisors is NAT. They are all 3 on NAT, while the first machine is on VMnet 15. And we put the first machine on VMnet 15 because we don't need internet connection. We just need some local within the VMware Workstation network. So we went for VMnet 15. So in order for the other 3 machines to communicate with the first machine, which is very critical as well, so all 3 machines must be on VMnet 15. So basically all 4 machines should be on VMnet 15 or any same network. So first machine is on VMnet 15. I'm going to go to the second, third, and fourth machine. I'm going to put them on VMnet 15 as well. It does not disrupt the ongoing installation. So we can all do that now by putting all the rest of the third machine, 3 machines to the same network so they can communicate with each other. Okay, so I'm just going to cancel out from the first machine. I'm going to go to the second machine, which is actually ESXi1 or the first hypervisor machine. Right click settings. We know what to do here. Just change the network from NAT to VMnet 15 so they could all communicate with each other. So if I go to the network adapter, it's on NAT. We don't need internet connection. I'm going to go to custom, this one, right? And we discussed that before as well. These are the 19 or 20 networks. We're just going for VMware 15 for no particular reason. It could be 14, it could be 16, but all 4 should have the same VMnet, right? To communicate with each other. So VMware 15, I'm putting the second machine, third and fourth. I'm going to do the same now. VMware 15 means no internet, but they are connected to each other. Right click, and we don't need internet. Okay, it's ready to reboot. Well, I will click on the screen to select it and then press enter and then come out of the screen, Control Alt. And I'm going to continue with the right click and settings and change the VMnet to the same as other machines. Okay, network adapter, custom VMnet 15. Press O and K. Then we go for the fourth machine, and it is also ready. So I'm going to first click and press enter, and then Control Alt to release it. Then I'm going to go for the same step here, and this is the settings. I go to settings, then I go to network adapter. If it is open today. Oh, right, it's open. Network adapter. When I go for a custom, and I go down to VMware 15, and I press OK. All right, so we're back to all 4 virtual machines on the same VMnet. Yay. Okay, that was exciting celebration. Yay. Okay, so here, okay, so while the other machines or hypervisors are still doing the final start, and the first hypervisor has already been on that, the starting screen where all hypervisors stop, and that's where the hypervisors are now running fine. So first thing I see there is that I know that these two are on the same network. So what I'm expecting from this hypervisor is that it should get an IP from my DHCP that is configured here. If I go back to this machine, the Windows machine, and log in, I need to go, I'm going to show you that our DHCP range is 192.168.200.50, right? So this hypervisor is supposed to be getting the first IP from our DHCP, not VMware Workstation DHCP. And I understand why it took the IP from VMware DHCP, because this was on NAT and this was on VMware 15, separate networks. So now they're on the same network, and I'm just checking again, and it hasn't taken the IP from this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to restart this first hypervisor, and when it comes back, it's going to be, because they're going to be on the same network, VMware 15 and VMware 15. So it's going to look for DHCP in this network, and it's going to find that here. And then it's going to take the IP from this DHCP, which we installed and gave the range of, 200.50 up to 200.100, right? So it's not taking it yet. So I'm just going to right click, power, and restart guest. The first hypervisor I'm going to restart so it could communicate with the DNS service and DHCP services that we installed in the first machine, right? So power, restart guest, and restart. I could have restarted from here by pressing F12 and then, the restart button from within the hypervisor. But I did it from outside the hypervisor. So that's the first one. The second one is nearly done. It's just that final area. And I think the third one, yeah, it has a few more dots to travel.
So do we need to restart all three?
Well, the second and third are still restarting. So what I'm hoping is that they will get the IP automatically from our DHCP. If they don't, then yes, we have to restart. If they do, then we don't have to restart. Okay, so there's network services are starting now. We're expecting that then it will look for a DHCP and it should find our DHCP within the same VMware 15 network. Okay, it's restarting now, E651. When it's back, okay, Pollux is done. All three are done. Got IPs 250, 51, 52. Suresh says, okay, very good, very good. Pollux is 3 VMs done. But did you get the IPs that Suresh put there? Anyone else? 50, 51, 52 for the 3 hypervisors that we installed?
So
Okay,
I got
Moise
for
says
the
yes.
first one because I already installed it. So second and third, I'm restarting. So
Good.
I got the
Okay.
50 for the first one.
Oh, okay, great. Okay, so Moise is done, Palak is done, Chris is done, Evelyn is done, Meher is done, Nase is done. Oh, I got same message. Okay, good.
To install the HCP on the first machine. I didn't
Yes.
get to do that yet. I missed a few steps.
Oh.
I have an error for the HCP installation.
DHCP? Oh.
On the first machine, I have an error. I tried. I didn't want to install it myself. There's step next. I didn't know if you changed anything.
Yeah, I customized it, but whatever you get, you can just share the screenshot on WhatsApp and we can tell you if it's recoverable. Quick. Nadeep says done. Okay, Taiwo says done. Sinchana says done. Pushpita says done. Way to go, man. Well, guys, this class is like working fastly. Okay. What worries? So, so you're sharing a screenshot here, and This yellow triangle is not supposed to be showing if the DHCP is installed.
Yes, I didn't install it. I missed the last two steps, I think. I changed the IP address, but I couldn't change the server default server name and the DHCP.
Oh, change the IP address of the DNS. Okay. Well, my suggestion is to follow the video because that's gonna be a issue. If we quickly tell and still it's wrong, but you have to click the yellow triangle and you have to, if it says configure DHCP, then go ahead and click that and next finish.
Okay.
So this yellow triangle should not
I
be
didn't want to click anything just to make sure
okay.
you didn't change
That's a good
anything
idea.
in settings.
Yeah, that's a very good idea. Okay. Well, if you want to keep on sharing screenshot, then you can take a screenshot. First, click the yellow triangle, then take a screenshot. I can tell you exactly where to click. That's how we can do it too. Oh, I got the IP 52, serious? Okay, for the first machine. And second machine, I got 50. Third machine, I got 51. So whichever machine ordered first, requested the IP first, got the first IP. So in my case, second machine, because the first machine was restarting, so the second machine requested first and it got the 50 first, which is okay because you know what? Because we're going to be putting here static IP, where we don't need IP from DHCP. But why then I insisted that it should get the 50, 51, 52? Because we needed to know if these three machines are communicating successfully with the first machine, which is very, very, very crucial, critical, right? So I was trying to be French now. Very, very crucial. No, R is R, right? Anyway, very, very crucial that the three machines must communicate with first machine. So if you got the IPs from here, these IPs, then yes, these are communicating. But we're going to go for the best practice, which is to put the static IP, our own IP in this machine, because hundreds of thousands of users might connect in very big companies to these hypervisors. So we can't leave the hypervisors on the mercy of DHCP. Suppose something happens to DHCP. But though there are some administrators who do let the DHCP give an IP to these critical machines, and then they reserve the IP. So nobody else can use that IP, right? So that also happens. But some other administrators say that keep the IPs from DHCP, keep away from DHCP, right? So they just give their own static IP range and keep it on in an Excel file. Anyway, so it depends on where you want to go. Okay, so there are more messages here. Taiwo says done. Naveed says done. Yeah. Jules says done for me. Okay, good, good. Okay, nice. And Taiwo still has the hand raised before as well in the class. As soon as I said that, then the hand was down, and again it's down now. Okay, maybe you're doing an exercise, Taiwo, right? Raise hand and then down and raise. Just kidding. Okay, so let's go ahead, guys. Now this area here, so our next step would be now to properly configure that hypervisor. How do we do that? Okay, we have created those machines. We're good. Okay. Okay, next thing, let's configure the networking of all hypervisors one by one. Give static IP, check DNS, give names to each hypervisor, ESXi01, ESXi01, you know what, and your first name, ESXi02, your first name, ESXi03, your first name, right? And check gateway, DNS static IP, check gateway name. Okay. Oh, also that domain. So these are the 4 things we're going to check in each hypervisor. So the overall networking settings of the hypervisors must be, same as like what we need for them to work properly and communicate with each other. All right. So Baba Fikayos is done. All right. Cool. All right, guys, so let's configure the first hypervisor and understand all the areas of how to configure a hypervisor. This is a Linux-based machine, obviously, so we have to configure it with the help of a keyboard here. Click will not work. But how to enter the configuration area of a hypervisor? So there is this F2 written here, right? So first I'm going to select this by clicking on this screen. And this hand icon will be gone. So I've selected this. So go ahead and click on it. Then you have to press F2, function key and F2. Function key and F2. As soon as you do that, then the authentication screen comes. So function key and F2, right? And the username by default is root. We're not going to change that. Otherwise, we won't be able to log in. So password is whatever you give during the installation. Small ABC, capital C, shift 123 without shift 123. So that's what I gave during the installation. And whatever you gave, hopefully you don't forget that. If you forgot that, good luck, reinstall the whole hypervisor again. Okay. So here, that's it. Function key F2, put the password, press enter, and you're going to log in to the configurational area of the hypervisor, like these. So once you have logged in, now you see that all those areas and links where you can configure this hypervisor. And this hypervisor we know is a foot soldier, right? So it, that's where the virtual machines will be hosted, and vCenter, the big application, the central application, will be connecting to the hypervisor in order to offer services for the application, for the virtual machines and the applications installed on the virtual machines, right? So this hypervisor we have to understand properly. And okay, so the first thing is configure password. We don't need to configure password, but if we have to, then we can come here and configure this. Second thing, down arrow. Now select this screen and then press down arrow, and you should be on the screen, configure management network. This is where we're going to spend our time because on the right side, you can see some time here. So the right side, you can see that there's a host name, local host. No, we want it to be your first name, E6I01. And then IP address is coming from DHCP. We don't want that. Maybe you see here 50, which is okay. So we're going to change it anyway. So, and then IPv6 we're not going for. So, but what's the plan here for the IP? Z's is the plan. So 200.10 is the IP of the first machine. So 200.1 is the IP of ESXi1, and 200.2 for ESXi2, and so on. 200.3 is the IP for ESXi3. The good thing is DHCP has already put the subnet mask, gateway, and DNS information. So that's a good thing. We could have put it automatically, like manually ourselves as well. But DHCP has already put this information. All we need to do is change this dude here. After 200, there's 50 or 51 or 52. We're going to change it to 1, 2, 3, right? So that's the plan. And let's do it. So we're going to be changing the IP of, we're inside the ESXi1 now. So we're going to give it a name. Your first name is ESXi1, and we're going to change its IP. This one has to be changed, because the rest of the information has already been given correctly by DHCP. If you have put the correct information in DHCP, yes, it has exactly put that information. Suppose in DHCP you put 193 by mistake here. So DHCP would have given 193 here as well. So then the whole information will be wrong in all the hypervisors. So somewhat we are depending on DHCP, to initially give correct information, although we can just manually correct it ourselves as well. Okay, so configure management network, we're going to come back. Restart management network is, yeah, you want management network or the networking service of this hypervisor you want to restart, then you come here. But obviously, suppose you had 20 virtual machines hosted on top of this hypervisor. So the networking of all those virtual machines will be affected if you restart from here. Suppose sometimes hypervisor freezes or just the network freezes, and you want to restart just the network services. So then you can come here and do that. And then there's test management network. So it says there on the right side, to perform a brief network test, press enter. By default, this test will attempt to ping the configured default gateway. It's going to ping to the whatever router IP address you have given, or gateway device IP address given. So it will tell that, yes, this hypervisor can communicate with the gateway, which means it is on the network and it is communicating fine. And it can, ping DNS servers as well for name resolution. And then there is restore option. If suppose you have, you want to put it to factory default, maybe you've taken a backup of the configuration at some time ago where you had different configurations backed up. You just backed it up or saved it. You want to restore those different configurations here for all these areas, then you can restore as well. Then there are configure keyboard option, use default, which is okay. You don't need to change that. Troubleshooting options is that you can enable ESXi shell, which is the command line interface it offers you, and then whatever we can click and configure, you can configure that by command as well, and solve Linux based. So enable SSH secure shell. This is just to remotely connect securely to this hypervisor with command line. You want to do that, then you can enable that. And restart agents. What are agents? So agents are services. The service that is running this whole window, so we could connect inside, or the service that is letting us remotely connect later, we're going to remotely connect to it as well. So there are many services which are running in the background that is running the whole hypervisor. So those services are called agents. You want to restart network service. So you say, hey, let's restart the network agent, or storage service, or for storage or hard disks, or any other service. So you normally call the service an agent. Okay, so then there is view system logs. Log files are very, very important. Log files are text files where you save an event with a timestamp. So suppose last night this hypervisor restarted and all the 20 virtual machines on top of it were affected. Either they were restarted on the other hypervisor, or they failed over to the other hypervisor virtual machine. But whatever happened last night will be saved with timestamp. Suppose at 11 o'clock, this hypervisor started. So then you will grab the log files. The log file will say at 11 exactly, or 11:15, there was a restart on this hypervisor. And maybe there are other log files that could tell maybe the reason of why it restarted. Sometimes it does not tell. You have to investigate further with other options. But log files just save all the events that are happening on the system with a timestamp. When did which event happen? So those are all the log files for different services that the hypervisor offers here. If we go further down, view support information. So there is that security information about that. There's a self-signed security certificate, and its thumbprint, which is an ID of the certificate, is given here. And then there are SSH, RSA key, fingerprint. So remotely you want to connect as well, so you need that information. Or you can change the certificate to a public certificate that you can purchase from GoDaddy.com or digicert.com, and put those certificates, security certificates here, so others could trust this machine as well. So all this information, security information, is here. And then if you want to put all the configurations to factory default, then you can press this button and it will put the whole configuration to 0 where it was not configured, right? Okay, so we're going to go up there to this area, configure management network, because we need to properly configure our hypervisor. So once I'm on top of configure management network, I'm going to press enter. Guys, it's going to get a little tricky, but you guys are, I'm seeing, very smart. So I'm sure it's not going to be a challenge for you. So I'm just going to press enter on top of this, configure management network. Then we come down to these options. So network adapters, it's on that, and VMNIC 0. This is the physical network card installed in that physical machine where the hypervisor got installed. In our case, it's a virtual machine and there's one network card, but VMNIC 0 represents a physical network card. So in a production environment, in a physical server, you will have maybe 4 network cards or 10 network cards. So all those network cards will show up here. Later, I'll be asking you to install 9 more network cards here and 9 more network cards here, just on ESXi 2 and 3. But I'll tell you the reason at that time. Okay, then there's an option for VLAN, and VLAN is that if you set up the VLAN, suppose the ESXi 2 is on VLAN 2. Okay, ESXi 2 is on VLAN 10. And ESXi 3 is on VLAN 11. So VLAN 10 hypervisor cannot communicate with VLAN 11 hypervisor. So all the hypervisors have to be on the same VLAN to communicate with each other. Or if it's not set for all, yes, they can still communicate with each other because the setting is same. It's pretty much like the VMNet that we were doing in the VM workstation training software level. VLAN pretty much does the same thing. You have to be on the same VLAN to communicate with each other. We're not setting the VLAN now. So I'm going to go down to IPv4 configuration, and you can see on the right side here, yes, the whole configuration has been given by DHCP. So yes, subnet mask and default gateway are correct. It's this 52 that we want to remove. And we need to change this setting so that it never takes or requests the IP from a DHCP. From now on, when we change it, it's going to be only static IP here because it's a critical resource. So critical resources should be given static IP addresses. I'm going to go inside this. For that, I need to press enter on IPv4 configuration. Select the screen and press enter. Once I press enter, now you see these areas here. Disable IPv4? No, we want to enable it. Use dynamic IPv4? No, we don't want to use dynamic. Currently, we are using dynamic. We need to put this set static IPv4. So we're going to take this O to here, out. So down arrow, down arrow. Once you're here, how do you select it? The spacebar key, the big long key. If you select the spacebar key, this will be selected, right? So once you have selected this, we need to change just this 52 here, right? Or you can just type the whole thing here, 192.168.200.52. So I'm just gonna select this and down arrow once, and then right arrow. Now it does not show the cursor on the right side, but it is there. I'm going to press backspace key once. See, 2 is gone. Backspace key again, 5 is gone. And I'm going to just put, as we planned in the diagram, 1. So that's all. Suppose the whole line is gone, then just simply type the whole thing, 192.168.200.1, right? All right, so what we need to do is, once that is done, yes, the rest of the configuration is O and K. So we want to press enter to save the configuration. If by accident you press escape, it's not going to save the configuration. You have to come back here and change it and then save it by pressing enter. So I'm going to press enter here to save the configuration. Enter, right? Okay, then I'm going to go down here to IPv6. We're not using it, so we can ignore that. Nothing to do here. I'm going to still go down here. DNS configuration, yes. Another very, very important area. And I'm going to press enter to go inside the DNS configuration and make some changes. So what changes are we going to make? IP is okay, but host name is not okay. I don't want this name machine to be named localhost. I want it to be named your first name ESXi01, right? So, okay, let's go inside, enter. And it says obtain DNS server addresses and host name automatically. Well, yeah, we got it, but we need to still make a change. So down arrow, I want to select the second option, right? And space bar to select it. And then I'm going to go down. Yes, IP is okay. We don't need to change that. Alternate DNS, we don't have a second DNS. In a production environment, normally you have a second DNS, so you can give that. Here, we don't have it. But this name is the problemo. Guys, we are going to create an A record inside the DNS. It's going to be key. Okay, let me explain there. Let me explain. Okay, where's the DNS? Tools, DNS. I want to tell you, see, we have in forward lookup zone, if I expand that and click the domain zone, we have one machine here, right? A record for one machine. Machine name, IP. But we're going to be creating manually the A record for hypervisor 1, 2, and 3. So we're going to be typing the name. Whatever we type here now, exactly those spellings we need to create an A. How do we create an A record? We just go, I'm going to be coming back here. I'm just briefly telling you now. Here, and then we put the name, we put the IP and press add host. So it just becomes like this. Then name resolution for this machine or by name access to this machine is enabled then, right? So anyway, what you put here, you have to make sure that the spellings are correct, right? Okay, so what we're going to do is your first name, ESXi01. Wow, difficult, right? Okay, so your first name, ESXi01. Make sure that is it. Okay, so you have to make sure the spellings are correct because exactly these spellings, with these spellings, we're going to be creating an A record later here. And the spellings, if the spellings are different, then by name remotely, you cannot access this hypervisor. And you, throughout the lab, throughout the course, and throughout your job, you must access the hypervisor by name. That's the best practice. That's how it works in production environments. So the naming has to be everywhere. Spellings have to be everywhere. Correct. Right? Okay. So once you have put this, then press enter to save it. That's the only change we're doing here. But yeah, the spellings have to be correct. Okay. Press enter to save. All right. We can check on the right side. Yes, it shows good. And yeah, IP is good. So we go down to DNS suffixes. So what is a DNS suffix? So DNS suffix is the ending part of the domain name. So if I go here and double click this, so I remember that I told you that it's fully qualified domain name, or the full name is the machine name plus the domain name becomes fully qualified domain name. So this portion here is the DNS suffix, the ending part, right, of the fully qualified domain name. So this suffix, it says here, hey, what kind of suffix you want to keep for this hypervisor? And it got this information from our DHCP, right? DHCP said, your DNS suffix will be whatever I was told to give you. And we give this Amir Humber. Wow. Okay. So the thing is that this DNS suffix is okay. And the benefit is that not only that our Windows machines are ending with the same domain name, but our Linux-based or VMware-based virtual machines are also ending with the same domain name, which is useful when you are running big monitoring software, suppose there are 10,000 machines there, right? And this it is ending with this correct domain name, so you will know that suppose all the machines belonging to this domain name are only in Toronto branch, right? So when you see the ending part of the machine name, oh yeah, this is a Toronto machine. Suppose there's a New York machine as well. Lots of there's a New York branch as well, and New York branch has just the subdomain added ny.amirham.local. So whichever machines in New York, they will end with ny.amirham.local. So the thing is, by name, by domain name, you will be able to know which network this machine belongs to. And suppose if it's specific to a branch, so which branch this machine belongs to, right? So that's why DNS suffixes are very important for even Linux-based machine. Even if the DNS is the domain name, so this domain name is belonging to a Windows domain, still, if that domain name is given to a VMware-based machine, so at least by name you can identify in monitoring software that which network or which domain this hypervisor also belongs to, right? Normally what happens is in production environments, they go for, don't make that change. I'm just giving an example. Suppose this is tor dot. So subdomain tor.amirham.local. Oh, this is a Toronto machine. Okay. Maybe there's a big company and it's a big, there are lots of big branches. Oh, this hypervisor belongs to ny dot. So Windows 10 machines ending with ny.amirham and Windows 11 machines, the printers that you've added A records of manually, they also are ending with this. So you will know just by seeing the name, oh, this is the printer in New York branch. Oh, this is a Windows 10 machine, or this hypervisor belongs to this branch. So normally that's how we, put the naming convention. So by just reading the name, we know the location of the machine or even the type of the machine. Suppose it's fully qualified domain name, right? So you would put the machine name something ESXi, suppose, and then 32P. What does that mean? It has 32 cores, 32 processors, right? Either cores or actual processors. Maybe then in another branch, in Denmark branch, you have older hypervisors. Maybe you can put the name ESXi 16C, 16 core processor, and here 32C, 32 core processor. So you can just come up with naming convention, but naming really helps us a lot in identifying the machine and also identifying which network or branch or country it belongs to, right? So that's overall what we need to know about domain suffix. So right now, it's okay. I mean, I pressed enter. It's okay. We don't need to change anything here. Domain suffix is okay. But if we go to DNS, now I'm going to double check our configuration by pressing up arrow. Yeah, everything seems okay. Okay. IPv6, nothing to change here. IPv4, yeah, everything's okay. Now what we need to do, we need to finalize the whole setting of this area. This time, if you press escape once, it's gonna ask, do you want to save all the changes? And you just press the button Y on the keyboard and it will save all the changes here. So I'm gonna press escape button once now to save all these configurations. Escape, and it shows this, apply changes and restart management network. So I'm gonna press the Y button and it has saved all those configurations, right? So that's exactly,
Can you repeat the last step, please?
Yeah, so if you have done all the configurations, then you have to just press the escape button once. This button, escape, right? Just once. Once you press it, it's gonna show up that message. You wanna save the configuration and restart. So just press the Y button, right?
Sayed, did you make any changes on
No.
custom DNS? Nothing, right?
No, no changes. Go. Okay, guys, we're gonna do the same drill. on the second and third hypervisor. So the first hypervisor is configured properly, and you have to be very careful because the whole rest of the course configurations depend on correct configurations here. I'm going to go for the second hypervisor, right? And how do I enter this? I have to press F11, F2 to enter this. First, I select this here, and then function key and F2. And we know the drill now. Whatever password we give, we go down there and put that password there, right? And press enter. Okay, so now obviously we don't need to change the password. We have gone through all this already. We're gonna just go down to, first of all, we're gonna enter the configure management network. We're gonna change the 50 on the right side to 2, E6502, right? So according to the diagram, it's going to be 202, right? So, okay, I'm going to press enter to enter it. And I'm going to go down to IPv4 configuration. I'm going to press enter here as well. Enter. And I need to set it as a static IP. So down arrow, and press spacebar to select it. Now we know the drill. So the IP below, I'm going to press down arrow once and then right arrow, cursor to then shows, backspace, 0 is gone, backspace, 5 is gone. We just replace it with 2. That's it. And we save the configuration by pressing enter. So I'm going to press enter here. All right, and on the right side, double check. Yep, seems good. Okay, down arrow key, IPv6 we're not using. Down arrow key again, DNS configuration. Oh, we need to make a change here for the host name. And that's going to be your first name, ESXi02, right? Okay, so I'm going to go inside the DNS configuration, enter, press the down arrow key, space bar there. Then we go down to localhost. Okay, too much movies, seriously. Correct. Your first name, ESXi02. Your first name, ESXi02. Okay, guys, this spelling has to be correct. Or whatever you type here, then the same spelling DNS record you have to type there. Okay, we need to save it. Press enter. And then custom DNS suffixes, local domain. Ooh, what is this? That's not what we were expecting. This local domain is not supposed to be there. So we're going to fix it. We're going to clean it. Okay, press enter. The first hypervisor didn't have it, but the second one had it. Sometimes it happens. So I just need the amirhum.local or your first name hum.local, but not the other one. So right arrow key, right. Under the A or under the first letter, then backspace. Just pretty much remove this, right? To make sure this is your exact Windows domain suffix or ending part of the domain is showing only. Once it is there, clear, press enter to save it. Press enter to save it. So now it seems okay. Double check on the right side. Good. Up arrow, double check on the right side. AMIRESXI02. Okay, spellings are correct. No IPv6, IPv4. Okay, we're good. So in order to save the whole configuration, we just press escape once. Okay, I'm going to press escape once now. and then press Y on the keyboard. Why? Tell me why. Okay. So anyway, yeah, it's old school. And yeah, it's done. So okay, now we do the whole set of boring steps on the E6i3 now. Okay, so we go down to select this function key F2 to log in, and password small ABC, capital C, shift 1 2 3, dot shift 1 2 3, press enter. Okay, and then we go down to management network. We press enter some more. And now we're gonna go down to IPv4. We press enter here. And then we go down to select the static IP. And then we go further down. We click the right key, backspace 1 and backspace 2. And we put the IP3. In order to save it, we press OK. Hey, wake me up when this is done, right? Okay. Then we go for IPv6. We make no change here. Then we go for a DNS configuration. Whoa, my case. Seriously? Okay. So DNS configuration, and then we go inside the DNS configuration. Then we go down and select the space bar. And we go down further. We change the name to Amir and ESXi01. That's it, right? No, 3. Follow me. I think I should not go for this Italiano Mexicano style. Okay, Armory 603. Hey, did I put 2 there? Serious? Yeah, okay. 3, press enter after that. Then we go, yes, yeah. Then we go down to DNS, and it is also messed up. So it is a local domain here, which we need to change. Okay, I'm so tired, I can't get out of this section. Press enter. And then we go down to under the A, and we go back. And we go back further. All right, then we go press OK. And we are safe. We are safe now. Really? We have saved now. Okay, then we go up. DNS configuration. Your first name is ESXi03. Okay, and yeah. We fixed no problemo. And IPv4 configuration 200.3. We're good. Okay, so we need to save the whole configuration. We're gonna go for escape. And we're gonna save that too. Oh man, I'm suppressing this yawn. Anyway, 9:30. Okay, so we have configured all 3 hypervisors. And if we go there, so yeah, this is done. The name is done. And another very, 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 very crucial information is that we have to go to DNS and create manually, because obviously it cannot be done automatically. Manually, the A records, okay, A and PTR. When you create A records, automatically it creates a PTR for that too, because you have to select that option. Anyway, E and pointer records. A record is name and IP of a machine. PTR record is IP and name of the machine. It's pretty much the same information, but the opposite way. Okay, so A and PTR records, create manually the A and PTR records. Make sure the name spellings are exactly the same as we put in the hypervisor. If it's different, you cannot access the hypervisor by name, and that's a no-go situation, right? You have to get it right. All right, so let's go back to the Windows machine. Okay, now I'm going to go back to the Windows machine because that's where my DNS lives. So I try to go for Control Alt Delete, and I'm going to go inside the Windows server. Okay, now we need to create the 3 A records and pointer records for the hypervisors. It's just mucho importante. Okay, how do we do that? We can expand forward lookup zone if it's all okay. Maybe some of you don't have a DNS open. So tools, DNS, and then expand the forward lookup zone, and then click the domain zone, right? Now you have just one machine A record here, but we need 3 more A records here. How do we do that? How do we do? It's like Scooby-Doo, right? How do we do? Okay, so now I'm just gonna right click here, and I'm gonna go for new host A record. Guys, again, be very, very careful. Okay, I'm gonna go there to ESXi1. I'm gonna check the name AMIRESXi01. Okay, I'm gonna go back here and type AMIRESXi01. You can see that it's already filling up the fully qualified domain name. It's just adding the name in front of the domain name or the domain suffix or the end part of the domain, which is ONK, right? I'm gonna check the IP 192.168.1. Okay. So 192.168.200.1. You can see that it's already create associated pointer record. So it's already there. So the information is correct. If it is correct, then okay, add host, right? Whoa, I just clicked it. Yeah.
For the host name, how you're creating that new record, that new host.
Yeah.
When you right click on the right, and then when I do that, I'm just getting properties on stuff for mine.
Okay, so when you right click here, you don't see this?
What's that? New host?
New host A or AA.
Okay, yeah. So
Okay, click that.
new host.
And then give the correct name and correct IP of the hypervisor by checking the hypervisor, or if you remember the spelling, it's okay. So we have already created the first host. We're gonna go for the second one. We pretty much do the same thing. I'm just gonna, oh, serious? What is this? Did I not press escape? Okay, escape, yeah. So ESXi02 or all right. I'm going for the second one. AMIR ESXi02 tab, and then we go for IP. Although I remember that, but I want you to make sure that you're comparing it 192.168.2. Okay. 192.168.200.2. Pointer record is already checked, which is okay. And the fourth one, last one, we don't need that. It's for Windows. Add host, we're good. Successfully, that's okay. It's still, the window is still there. And we're gonna go for the third record now. Escape, okay, on tab. AMIR ESXi03. AMIR ESXi03. Like that. 192.168.100.3. 192.158.200.3. Oh, what I do? Serious. Tab. 192.158.200.3. Spellings are correct. Okay. And it's already created pointer record. Add host. So all three records must be created here correctly. I'm gonna press OK and done. Is that done, right? I hope everyone is done. Okay, if I go for reverse lookup zone, just to confirm before that, I'm gonna go up to the DNS server. I'm gonna select that, and then I'm gonna refresh it just a few million times. And then I'm gonna go down to reverse lookup zone. All right, so Pollock is already done. There you go. So Pollock, you have to confirm the reverse lookup zone as well. Then you can see it done. Right. So everyone do it done or done, right? All right, so done for me as well. Okay, Nasir says
I'm
done.
done, sir.
Okay, done. There you go. Lots of done-dones.
Done, sir.
Oh, okay. Cool. Okay, so done, and I think we're done with today. No.
One question. I don't know what I did wrong, but in this timestamp, mine is not showing static on your screen where it says timestamp.
This one?
Yeah,
What is it showing?
it's blank, nothing there.
Oh, then it might come like just refresh or close it and open it, or later it will come. It's okay if you have followed the whole other steps exactly like me, then it's okay. It's gonna come.
Okay.
So do we need any screenshots from here?
Exactly. So guys, yeah. So if you are on reverse lookup zone, this means forward lookup zone is done. So we will be taking a screenshot number 2 of this. So screenshot number 2. Let's just take the screenshot of the PTR records. So we can say that hypervisor PTR created is the label of the screenshot. So I'll take a screenshot here for my screen, but you should be taking a screenshot of your screen where your name is showing there. Those who are not following, for now, you can take a screenshot of my screen showing my name, but for the marks, you have to then replace it throughout the week when you're doing the lab and done. So you have to replace it with your name screenshots. So the screenshot is Aziz, and the label is it's hypervisor PDR record created. So if PTR records are created, obviously the A records have been created, and obviously that would be only created if you have created the whole hypervisors. It's not obviously like you can even, because this was manual, right? So you could have created while the hypervisors did not even exist. You could have created these records even now, even then. So, but technically, yeah, we created it, but we should not be assuming, oh, obviously because hypervisors are there, that's why we created it. It makes sense that when you install a hypervisor, then you create records. Suppose there's a printer there. When you install a printer manually, after the printer has been configured inside, then you create a record in DNS, not before that. So that's why we kind of assume that obviously you must have created the hypervisor and configured it properly. Then you create a record here because that's the correct order in which things are done. Okay, so Control S, and I'll take a screenshot of the screenshot. So this means we are done. Dun, 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 dun. Oh, Wild West. Okay. Yeah. I'm trying to do weird things because 9 to 5 office, then come in GO train from downtown to Etobicoke North, then from there car, and then avoid construction, and then reach home. I had like literally 2 minutes to join, and then I said, okay, class starts at 6:10. Yeah, okay. So that's exciting already. Now 9:42. Yeah, that's it. So please upload your screenshots to Blackboard, where I haven't created that upload link yet. So I will be creating it now. And we're connecting tomorrow at 6 till 10 as well. But from next week, it's just Thursday class. Seriously, 2 classes. Whoa. Okay. Anyway. So I'm going to the Blackboard here. You can just open the, MS Word file, save the 2 screenshots, and
Sir,
yeah.
can you share the all videos plus sessions?
It's already on the link of the YouTube channel list is already on Blackboard. So once you click that, all the videos are there.
Okay. Okay, sir.
On the top of the, there's a link there. Okay. I'm logging in right now on the other screen, and VMware workstation, then okay, it's week 3, right? Yeah, week 3, and then tomorrow is week 4. Wow, it's all messed up, seriously. Okay, so I'm just gonna quickly make available week 3 right now, and I'm gonna change the numberings for that to, there was 2. I put 2 week 2s there because literally we did the class in week 2, but it has to be week 3 and 4. The way we write it. So I'll change that. Last class week 3, and this is week 4 literally. So 29 sept. Okay, just wait for a bit more. Installing hypervisors. So you should be seeing that now as week 4, 29 September, installing hypervisors. Inside that, I'll quickly create an upload link. Okay. Assignments. So I'm doing that on the other side. And here, okay, so attempts allowed, points, and save. Also visible to students, and please upload week 4. So guys, do you see in Blackboard, please upload week 4. Can you refresh? Yes, no, maybe, maybe not.
Yes, we can see that.
All right. Thank you for confirming. So please go ahead and upload your document with 2 screenshots there, and wait for the video tonight or tomorrow so you can complete the video, those who haven't completed, and then replace the screenshots with your name screenshots, right? If it's still my name screenshots, then marks I won't be able to give for those. It has to be your name, right? Okay, guys, so see you tomorrow at 6. Until then, bye-bye.
Excuse me, sir, please.
Yeah.
I still haven't received the key. VMware, the VMware Software Pro, Workstation Pro, section that I've requested since. Yes, I've not yet received. What should I do?
Oh, the key.
Yeah.
Oh, so have you been in touch with the course coordinator and the technical support? And many students have already gotten it, so other students haven't helped as well. Well, the main thing is that whatever the issue is, you have to take a screenshot and send course coordinator as CC me as well, and then they should. Yeah.
Sir,
I do not have any. I do not have any error message. Actually, it's the 4 days that they said we should wait for, but since I've not received.
Oh, we got another email last week from Christopher.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, you can contact him.
Already in his mail, it was like for the redemption of our account.
Just send him email, so he will reply to you. Because we got another email for VMware if we didn't get the
like the redemption mail. Yes, I received that mail and follow the instructions. Then I asked for the license again, the key license, but I've not yet received. I asked him already. He said I should follow up with VMware team because I've opened a case.
Moise, I think I had the same issue. Check your junk mail. I didn't get the mail initially, but it actually went into my junk mail. So check it.
Junk mail as well. Okay, good idea.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm suspending all the machines. I just resume the recording for that, and then it is bye-bye to all, and have a good night, and see you tomorrow.
Good night, sir.
Okay.
Good
night.
Good night. Good
Bye.
night.
Thank you, sir.
All right. Good night. Oh, my machine. All right. Night. Stopping. Bye-bye.
So just last one question, where we have to
Yeah, sure.
upload the screen.